this again. We're calling. Oh, we need to call the interpreter, right? All right, folks, ready for round two? If I could have appearances for the record.
Trustee Tyner for the state of Florida.
Devin Nixon on behalf of the public defender.
Rebecca Davis with pretrial release.
All right, so we're going to do interpreter cases first. And I don't know which ones are interpreter cases, so, okay, that doesn't want to call.
Oh, that might be why.
Don't know what's going on here.
No?
Call. Okay, let's try redoing it. Blessed. It's calling now.
Good afternoon. This is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, already sworn in today. Can you hear the interpreter, Your Honor?
Good afternoon, Madam Interpreter. We are ready for interpreter cases.
Thank you.
First five. All right, we could have Pedro Velasquez Rodriguez.
Correcto.
Correct.
All right, sir, I have one charge of battery by strangulation, domestic violence. You can find probable causes established for the charge. Mr. Velasquez completed paperwork for the public defender.
What was that?
Mr. Velasquez, complete paperwork for the public defender. I don't have it.
I do not have that information, Your Honor.
Should I just appoint public defender? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and appoint the public defender. I will set bond on this at $3,000. There'll be no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, no weapons or firearms.
Your Honor,
Yes,
the defendant indicated that he would like to return to Puerto Rico upon his release, and he even stated that that was a point of contention in the affidavit. We would ask that he be required to remain in the jurisdiction while this case is pending.
all right. Mr. Velasquez, you will need to remain in Florida until you either obtain permission from your assigned judge to return to Puerto Rico or the case is resolved. All right,
Okay, sí.
Okay, yes.
okay, Virginia Lopez Soba. Ooh, victims just came in. Do we know whether or not there was a victim for Velasquez? The victims just entered into the room. Do we have anyone for Mr. Velasquez Rodriguez?
¿Tenemos alguna víctima aquí presente para el señor Velázquez Rodríguez?
Nope, no one's responding. Okay. Virginia Lopez Soba, do we have any victims here for that case?
Tenemos a Virginia López Soba aquí presente. ¿Tenemos alguna víctima aquí para el caso de la señora Virginia López?
Ma'am, can you state your name for me, please?
Virginia Lopez Soba.
Virginia López Soba.
So, Ms. Lopez Soba, we have a warrant that was issued for, sorry, we have a charge of violation of a domestic violence injunction. I will find probable cause for the charge. Appoint the public defender. I will set bond on this charge at $2,500, but I will revoke PTR on 23 MM 435. As, Sopa Soba is on PTR for that case. Thank you, ma'am. Joe Frank Juarez.
Joe Frank Juarez.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Jofran Juarez.
Joe Frank Juarez.
All right, Mr. Juarez, there are two charges, possession of oxycodone, petty theft. I find probable cause for both of those charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I leave the bonds as established at $1,000 for count one, $250 for count two. There will be no return to the scene, no drugs or alcohol except these medications prescribed by a medical professional. Thank you, Mr. Juarez. Jose Martinez. Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Jose Martinez.
Jose Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, there are two charges, possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause for both charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Bonds have been set at $1,000 on count one and $100 on count two. I will leave those bonds as originally set. There will be no alcohol or drugs except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. Julio Navarra Flores.
Julio Navarro Flores.
Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Julio Naveira Flores.
Julio Naveira Flores.
Mr. Navarro, there's one charge, it's grand theft. I find probable cause for that charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a bond set on this in the amount of $500. I will leave the bond at $500, also order pretrial release. There will be no return to the scene. Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Venice Aristide.
She refused, Your Honor. I'm sorry. She was mental health, I'm sorry, mental health.
All right, we no longer, is that the end of the Spanish interpreter cases?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
So, has the public defender been appointed for Ms. Aristide?
Your Honor, could we reset till tomorrow?
All right, I will reset till tomorrow. Gabriel Barcenas,
Yes, ma'am.
if you could please state your name for me.
Gabriel Barcenas.
So, Mr. Barcenas, there was a warrant issued for probation violation.
Yes, ma'am.
Probable cause is established based upon The warrant, there is no bond on this warrant. Will appoint the public defender to represent you. And the bond does stand. Best of luck to you, sir. Roderick Stafford.
I guess it's months from now. But I just have a question about BOP real quick. Just a- I just was wondering about this. You know about this?
Can you tell me your name, please, sir? Sir, can you tell me your name?
Roderick Stafford.
All right, Mr. Stafford, there is a charge of trespass. I do find probable cause for that charge. There's a bond established on that at $250. I will leave it established at $250. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There are,
Yes.
however,
There is an offer, Your Honor, on this case of a withhold credit time served and court costs.
I'm gonna let you take that up with the assigned judge because the fact that there's numerous other charges, numerous other cases. So I'm going to revoke the bond in 2022 MM 2141, 2022 CF 12111, and 2022 MM 6180. So I'll let you take that up with the assigned judge.
And Your Honor, the bond on this case?
The bond on this case was $250.
Thank you.
Tavish Williams. You state your name for me, please, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Tavish Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, there is one charge, is disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for that charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a bond on that in the amount of $250, and I will stay that bond. There is, however, another case in 2022 CF 5684 out on bond, and I will revoke the bond on that case. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Timothy Fair.
The PD call you as soon as possible, okay?
When you doing the attorney case?
Sorry?
About the case, we'll have to talk about it later, okay?
Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Timothy Fair.
All right, Mr. Fair, there are two cases. In case number one, we have charges of resisting an officer without violence and battery, touch, or strike. On count one, I will find probable cause for the charges in this case. Appoint the public defender to represent you. As to count one, I will stay the bond at $500. There is no bond set on count two, but I will set that bond at $2,500. Conditions of release will include no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, and no weapons or firearms. As to case number two, there are three charges of hit and run, failure to stop and render aid to a crash victim, possession of weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon, 2 counts of that. So 3 counts of hit and run, 2 counts of possession of a weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause for all 5 of those charges. Appoint the public defender on that case as well. As to counts 1 through 3, I will stay the bonds at $5,000 each. As to counts 4 and 5, I will raise those bonds to $15,000 each. there will be no contact with the victims. Thank you, Mr. Fair. Andres Hippolito. Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Andres Hippolito.
Mr. Hippolito, this is a warrant arrest on on charges of sexual battery on a person 18 years of age or older, 2 counts, count of battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and a battery domestic violence charge, probable cause established based on the warrant. All of those are no bond, and they will remain at no bond. There will be additional conditions of no contact with the victim. I will revoke the bond also in 22 CF 2017, which is an Osceola County case. And I say I appoint the public defender? I'm appointing the public defender to represent. This one? Nixon Lazard. Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Nixon Lazard Jr.
Mr. Lazard, the charges in this case are aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence, and battery on a person 65 years of age or older. These are both set at no bond. What's the state's position with regard to setting bond in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe he is entitled to bond. I believe the victim would like to inform the court on what's going on, and we can take that into consideration for setting bond.
Ma'am, are you the victim in this case? Can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Lavanya Telusma. I'm Grandma for Nixon Jr.
Hey, ma'am, what would you like to tell me about the setting of bond in this case?
My grandson got mental problem. I'm grandma. In it, I've give him 40, don't like to eat. What is it?
Ultimately, we just wanted to let you consider that he has mental issues and he's supposed to be taking medication, but he's not taking medication.
Right.
So when he's not on his medications, he can
Control himself.
yeah, he can't control himself, and there might be times that it might create an environment that's not safe. So we just wanted to take that into consideration.
So what would you like to see happen?
We definitely need some help in having him take his medicines long enough for them to kick in, maybe a prescription, a therapist. We are actively looking for a doctor to help us, but because of his age, it's really hard. So any assistance with that would help too.
Okay, so unless he's on his medication, you don't want him to return to the house?
He can return to the house. We just need help with him getting assistance with getting the medication, staying on the medication, and having like maybe therapy sessions if needed or something.
I'm not sure how much help I can give you with that. That may be terms that can be worked out as a resolution of this case, but for right now, I mean, I can order him to take any prescribed medication, but obviously you understand that I can't guarantee that that's going to occur.
Okay.
So if, understanding that, what's your feeling about his ability to return to the house?
I'm okay. I'm okay. At least,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, State?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with the victims, I would be requesting that we have a no hostile contact and required to take all medication as prescribed. And then can just let the victims know what no hostile contact means.
All right, so what the state is saying is that rather than having no contact with you, it would be no hostile contact, which means that he can stay there as long as there isn't any conflict going on that, that results in in you're feeling threatened or actually battered in any way. That okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
All right. So he doesn't qualify for PTR. State have a request with regard to bond?
No, Your Honor, we'll leave it at the discretion of the court.
All right, I will set the bond at $1,000, $500 on each charge, for a total of $1,000. There'll be no hostile contact with the victim. Mr. Lazar, do you have prescribed medication?
No, ma'am, I do not have any prescribed medication. The last prescribed medication I took and received was back in September, October for sleeping. I took
Okay.
Q-Tiapine.
Do you
But
receive
it
any
wasn't
mental
really
health treatment?
prescribed. It was kind of something I went for.
All right.
And that didn't work because I started exercising, and that put me to sleep. So I haven't been on real prescribed medication for mental illness my entire life.
Okay, do you know what your diagnosis is?
I don't have any diagnosis at the current moment. I don't have any medical conditions, and I don't have any physical medical conditions for me to be on any kind of medication.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you to contact Aspire and get a mental health evaluation done. If they recommend medication, then you'll need to take that medication. If they don't recommend any medication, then you will not need to take medication.
Affirmative.
Okay? All right. And if I didn't say it, I'm appointing the public defender. All right, thank you, Mr. Lazar.
Thank you so much.
All right, Berthan Rousseau. Sir, can you state your name for me, please?
Berthan Russo.
All right, Mr. Rousseau, you were picked up on a warrant for charges of robbery, sudden snatching, and battery domestic violence. Count 2 on this, state has no bond. What's the state's position with regard to that count?
Yes, Your Honor, he is entitled to a bond. He just has to come before the judge before that can be set. We'll leave it at the court's discretion. He does have bonds for the other charges, so whatever the court feels comfortable with.
I do note from the first appearance information sheet, Mr. Rousseau has previous arrests for robbery with a firearm, home invasion with a weapon, and burglary with an assault or battery therein, as well as kidnapping. According to the information sheet that I have. So I will stay the bonds on counts 1, 3, and 4 at $5,500 and $1,000. And as to count 2, I will set that bond at $5,000. There is to be no contact with the victim and no return to the scene. And I'm appointing the public defender. D'Angelo Sawyer, can you state your name, please, sir?
D'Angelo Sawyer.
All right, Mr. Sawyer. There are 3 charges: false imprisonment, domestic violence, battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. On this case, there's no bond on any of these charges. What's the state's position with regard to bond in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I do see that he has no convictions. He has a couple of out-of-state arrests and a honorable discharge. Thank you for your service. So the state would just be asking for bond within the schedule. And actually, he qualifies for PTR. Is that PTR with a bond?
He qualifies for straight PTR.
Then the state's requesting PTR.
All right, I did see that, and I noted that. So I will order PTR on each of these 3 counts. There will be no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, and no weapons or firearms.
Your
I
Honor,
did find probable cause for the 3 charges, and I'll appoint the public defender.
Your Honor, we would ask for a one-time return with law enforcement for any personal belongings at the residence.
All right, one-time return with law enforcement. Ezra White?
You refused?
We'll reset him till tomorrow morning. Richard Feliciano?
Hello,
State your name on the record for me, please.
this is Richard Feliciano. Just put my name on.
Mr. Feliciano, we have 1 charge, it's battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the charge. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I do have paperwork completed for the public defender. State's position with regard to bond?
He only has priors for retail theft. The state's just asking for within the schedule. And he doesn't qualify for PTR, so.
He does not qualify for PTR according to the charges I have, or the sheet I have. I will set bond at $500. There'll be no contact with the victim and no return to the scene.
And Your Honor, we would ask for a one-time return with law enforcement for any personal belongings.
That's fine. A one-time return with law enforcement to collect personal belongings. Philip Florence? Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Philip Florence.
All right, Mr. Florence, 1 charge, battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. This is a no bond charge at the time. Mr. Florence does qualify for straight PTR, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd be requesting PTR.
All right, Mr. Florence, I will order you to pretrial release. There will be no return to the scene, no contact with the victim.
Your Honor, we would also be asking for a one-time return with law enforcement for personal items.
One-time return to the scene with law enforcement be allowed. Deontay Hale? Tell me your name, please, sir.
Beyonce Hill.
Mr. Hale, there's 1 charge, it's battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. This is listed as a no bond, and Mr. Hale does qualify for straight PTR, correct?
Correct.
State?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd be requesting PTR, and may I inquire from the victim briefly?
You may.
Yes, good morning. Can we swear her? Madam Clerk, will you swear the victim? Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Swear, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Good morning.
Hi.
What's your relationship to Mr. Hale?
He's my husband.
And are you afraid of him?
Not at all.
Do you want contact?
Yes.
And would you like to be able to return to the state that you're from?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor, I spoke with the victim before court. We're just asking for a no hostile contact with the PTR and that they be allowed to return to the home state, which
Ohio.
Ohio.
All right, so, Deb, you're not afraid of Mr. Hale?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
All right, I will, didn't already say it, appoint the public defender, I will order pretrial release. There will be no hostile contact with the victim. No alcohol or drugs except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. And Mr. Hale, you will be permitted to return to your home state of Ohio. Thank you. Tatiana Jackson, can you state your name on the record for me, please?
Tatiana Jackson.
All right, Ms. Jackson, there's one charge. It's battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Jackson qualifies for PTR state.
Yes, Your Honor, we would be requesting PTR.
All right, Ms. Jackson, I will order pretrial release. There will be no contact with the alleged victims, Gernard Jusme and Jakira Whitaker. There will be no return to the Boca Club apartments and no weapons or firearms. Best of luck to you, ma'am. George Moore.
Refuse.
Be reset till tomorrow. Jose Morales.
Ma'am.
State your name on the record for me, please.
Jose Morales?
All right, Mr. Morales, there's one charge. It's battery, touch, or strike. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Morales qualifies for pretrial release. State's position.
Yes, Your Honor, we would request pretrial release.
All right, so, Mr. Morales, I will order you to pretrial release. There will be no contact with the victim.
And we also have no drugs or alcohol.
Yes, no drugs or alcohol, I do notice. Alleged.
And Your Honor, we'd be requesting a one-time return with law enforcement for personal belongings.
It'll be a one-time return with law enforcement. Anthony Barrett. Sir, can you state your full name for me, please?
Anthony Barrett.
All right, so Mr. Barrett, there's one charge, it's possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There's bond set at $1,000. I will leave it set at $1,000. There will be no alcohol or drugs except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. Sir? Mackie Black. Sir, can you state your name for me, please?
Yes, Judge. My name is Aki Harz Milton Black.
All right, Mr. Black, there are 6 cases. In case number 1, there are charges of fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, leaving the scene of a crash with property damage, resisting an officer without violence, and reckless driving with damage to person or property. You do find probable cause for those charges. They all have, well, fleeing or attempting to elude does not have bond. On count 1 has no bond, the other counts have $500 each. I will set bond on count 1 at $3,500. As to, I will appoint the public defender to represent you on that case. As to case number 2. Sorry? Yes. Staying the bonds on counts 2, 3, and 4, and setting bond at $3,500 on count 1.
3 counts.
As to case number 2,
3 and 2.
this is a arrest based upon a warrant for charges of sale or delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a child care facility and sale or delivery of cocaine. Probable cause is established by the warrant. There will be no bond on that until you appear before the assigned judge. On case number 3,
It already had a bond on it.
I'm sorry, bonds are set on this case at 10,000 and
Yes, the bond was set already, Judge.
All right, bonds are set on this,
I'm just
on
correct.
case number 2 at 10,000 and 150. I'll stay those bonds. On case number 3, would it be helpful to you if I give you the case numbers on these? Okay, so case number 2 was 22 CF 11823. Case number 3 is 22 CF 4940. This is a underlying charges of possession of cocaine, resisting an officer without violence. This is a warrant for failure to appear for trial management conference. There are no bonds on this warrant, and it will remain as no bonds on this warrant. Public defender, have you been appointed on the underlying cases?
I do not have that information at this time.
There's a private attorney.
counsel.
All right,
For only one case, one of them cases I have private counsel.
which case has private counsel?
It's the
The
it's
one
the
I'm on?
one with the date, it date backs to May. I don't know which case number it is. It date backs to May.
All right, so this is 22 11823, has private counsel.
Is on that one?
All right, so on 22, and that's the only one that has private counsel on it?
Yes.
All right, then I'll appoint the public defender on the other cases. So the, including the new case. All right, on case number 4, which is 22 CT 2425. It's a warrant for a failure to appear for trial. There is no bond on that warrant, and it will remain as no bond on that warrant. Public defender in that case. Case number 5 is 22 CT.
What is case number 5?
Oh, hold on. It's this one.
22 CT 4113.
And what is that?
I can only see it right now.
That charge is, was a failure to appear. It's set at no bond, but the schedule dictates that that needs to be set at $1,000, so we'll set the bond at $1,000 on that. And probable cause is established based on the warrant. Case number 6,
Can I get a pause real quick, please, Judge?
I'm sorry, can you get a what?
Can I get a, I'm just trying to keep up with you, Judge, that's all. You said $1,000 bond, what was that for?
Hold on.
On case number 22, CT 4113, it was a warrant arrest with no bond on the warrant. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000.
I'm just asking the charge nature. What charge was it?
Driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge, it's a failure to appear for a status hearing.
Judge.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
In case number 6, 22 CT 2426. This is a warrant based on a failure to appear for trial. There is no bond on this, and it will remain at no bond. In addition, Mr. Black is out on bond. In 22 CF 8558, I will revoke the bond in 22 CF 8558. and appoint public defender in all those cases except the one that has private counsel. Thank you, Mr. Black.
That's everything.
I'm gonna put notes in your cases, okay? I'm gonna put the notes in your case.
Ray Blair,
Refuse.
we'll reset him till tomorrow. Charles Brooks. Can you state your name, please, sir?
Charles Brooks.
All right, Mr. Brooks, there are 4 charges: trafficking in hydrocodone, possession of alprazolam with intent to sell, possession of morphine, possession of lorazepam. I find probable cause for the charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. On count 1, I will reduce that bond to $100,000. Leave the bonds on counts 2, 3, and 4 at $150 each. There will be no drugs except those medications prescribed by a medical professional and no alcohol. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Lazaro Carbolata. Can you state your name on the record for me, please? Go ahead and state your name.
Lazaro Caballero.
All right, sir, we have 3 charges. Destroying, altering, or concealing evidence, resisting an officer without violence, and trespassing in a structure or conveyance. Do find probable cause for the 3 charges. Bonds have been set on those at $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. They will remain. However, you are out on bond in 22 CF 6895. I will revoke the bond in that case. We'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Best of luck to you, sir. Griselle Dickerson,
Yes, ma'am.
state your name for me, please.
Zell Lewis Dickerson, Senior.
All right, Mr. Dickerson, there are 6 charges. Count 1 is carrying a concealed firearm. Count 2 is possession of MDMA. Count 3 is possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver. Count 4 is possession of cocaine. Count 5 is possession of MDMA. And count 6 is possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon. You do find probable cause for all 6 charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. All of these charges have bonds set, and I will stay those bonds. There will be no drugs or alcohol except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. Thank you, Mr. Dickerson. You state your name for me, please, sir.
Andre Francis.
All right, Mr. Francis. We have a warrant for burglary of a dwelling. Probable cause is established based upon the warrant. There is bond on that warrant in the amount of $5,000. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There will be no contact with the victim, no return to the scene.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Francis.
Thank you.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Jeremy Gilbert.
All right, Mr. Gilbert. This is a warrant arrest for failure to register. Probable cause established based upon the warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is no bond on this warrant. In addition, you're out on bond in 22 CF 6180. I will revoke that bond as well.
I can ask something like I didn't no, like with the address, the failure, the rest of the address.
You'll have to address that with the public defender that gets assigned to you in your case.
So
Best of luck to you, sir.
Do I got a bond on this, the new charge?
Nope. You do not.
On
It's
that
on,
one?
because it's a warrant and there's no bond on the warrant.
So did my bond on my old case get revoked?
And the bond, so you have no bond on the new charge and the bond's revoked in the prior case. So the public defender's appointed to represent you, so you can discuss that with your PD.
Note in your case, okay?
Malik Gillings, state your name on the record, please.
Malik Gillings, 0410-2001.
All right, Mr. Gillings, I have two charges, shooting from a vehicle and possession of a weapon in the commission of a felony. I do find probable cause for both charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There are bonds set at and $5,000 on count one and $1,000 on count two. I will stay those bonds. There will be no weapons or firearms. No contact with the victim and no return to the scene. Thank you, Mr. Gillings. Rashad Grayson, can you state your name on the record, please?
Rashard Grayson.
All right, Mr. Grayson, this is a warrant arrest for a home invasion robbery with a firearm. Probable cause is established for the warrant, by the warrant. There is no bond on this warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. And there will be no contact with the victim. Thank you, Mr. Grayson. Levon Haynes?
Refused.
Okay. Set him for tomorrow. Andrew McGrath?
Yes, ma'am.
State your name on the record for me, please.
Andrew McGrath.
All right, Mr. McGrath. This is a warrant arrest for grand theft. There is a bond on the warrant, the amount of $2,500. I will stay that bond. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There'll be no contact with the victim. Thank you,
Where the
Mr.
grand theft comes from?
Sorry?
Where it's coming from? Grand theft?
It's a warrant. Tyler Niblack,
Yes.
state your full name on the record for me, please.
Tyler Vincent Niblack.
All right, Mr. Niblack, there's two charges, burglar of an occupied structure and petty theft. I do find probable cause for both of those charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There are bonds on these charges. Count one is $5,000 and count two is $100. I will stay those bonds. There will be no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, and no alcohol or drugs except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. Thank you, Mr. Niblack.
Is this the same case that I had?
I'll have to look into that with your PD, okay?
I'm so confused.
Mr. Odom, state your name on the record for me, please. Can you state your name for me?
Gerald Vincent Odom II.
All right, and Mr. Odom, there are two charges, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams with a weapon and open carrying of weapons or firearms. I do find probable cause for those two charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There are bonds set on this. On count one, the possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams, I will reduce that bond from $15,000 to $5,000. I will stay the bond on count two at $500. Conditions of your release will include that there will be no weapons or firearms, and there will be no alcohol or drugs except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. Mr. Odom?
Your Honor, he does qualify for PTR.
No, that charge didn't qualify.
No, he doesn't.
The weapon.
Oh, okay, it says so on the sheet. My bad.
It was updated, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Sylvia Cazada? State your name on the record for me, please.
Sylvia Casada.
All right, Ms. Cazada, we have one charge. It's petty theft from Merchandise Farm Transit. I do find probable cause to support with two or more prior convictions. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a bond on this, the amount of $1,000. I will stay that bond. There will be no return to the scene. Thank you, Ms. Cazada. Eric Rentz,
Bonded.
Michael Shellman,
Refused.
reset him till tomorrow. Mitchell Thurston.
Yes.
All right, state your name on the record for me, please.
Mitchell Leo Thurston Jr.
All right, Mr. Thurston, this is a warrant arrest based upon a failure to register. There is no bond on the warrant, and it will remain at no bond. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you, Mr. Thurston.
Okay.
Jonathan Torres.
What was the name?
Jonathan Torres.
I don't have that one. Can you give her the inmate number? She'll check it.
$2,300-2419.
You bonded.
Calvin Williams.
Have that one either.
Hmm?
Have that one either.
Is Mr. Young, Your Honor?
2300-2399.
You bonded.
Robert Young.
Yes, Your Honor.
State your name on the record for me, please.
Robert Young.
All right, Mr. Young, we have one charge. It's possession of MDMA. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a bond on this charge, and $1,000, and I will stay that bond. There will be no alcohol or drugs except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. Thank you, Mr. Young.
Samantha Cave.
Samantha Cave?
Bonded.
Okay. That didn't look like Samantha, but. Andres Oliver?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state your name on the record for me.
Andres Oliver.
All right, Mr. Oliver, this is a warrant arrest on a charge of battery. Probable cause established based upon the warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a bond on this warrant in the amount of $500. I will stay that bond. There will be no contact with the victim and no return to the scene. Thank you, Mr. Oliver.
Now you're going to postpone.
Nalita Anden.
Bonded.
Deron Brantley.
Bonded.
Is that David Baritica? David Baritica.
That was the private attorney. They're doing it.
Your Honor. I spoke with defense before they left. I wasn't able to give them a call back. It's Mr. Blaine McChesney.
I saw him here this morning.
Okay.
I'm getting him on the line.
I'm gonna call him. Smart.
Mr. McChesney, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
All right, we just called David Baritica.
Yes, Your Honor. Blake McChesney on behalf of Mr. Baritica.
All right, Mr. Baritica, we have a charge of driving while license suspended or revoked. I do find probable cause for this charge.
Your Honor, may I be heard briefly on that?
You may.
Your Honor, he called me on his way to my office. He was driving. He got a DUI the day before. He was released on PTR from that DUI. The driving license suspended charge, when he called me, I was literally outside of the courthouse about to go in to see you yesterday for that other case. he had the police on the phone. He put me on speakerphone, and I told the police officer that his ticket for the DUI is a 10-day temporary permit to drive. And it says that right on the ticket itself. And the officer said, I've never heard of that, and then wound up arresting him for, I guess, driving with a suspended license, violation of a BPO is, I guess, the real charge, because the license wasn't actually suspended. He got a 10-day window to file for a DMV hearing.
The charging affidavit says that his license was already suspended.
Oh, for something else? Okay, I was unaware of that.
I don't know, State.
Yes, Your Honor. Just to let defense know, it appears he was suspended for something along the lines of like no current insurance or registration, something like that. So that's the reason for the suspension. It's separate from the DUI. But if he's able to fix that issue, there should be no problem with him moving forward and requesting pretrial diversion.
Yeah, according to the charging affidavit, Mr. McChesney, his license was suspended on January 19th.
Okay, so that was
and it says
prior
it was
to the
based
DUI.
upon some other issue. It doesn't say what the issue was, but it says that it had been suspended on January 19th.
Okay. Okay, so I guess they didn't arrest him for that the day before for the DUI. My concern was that this new driving license suspended would hold him on the DUI.
That's correct, because it revokes his PTR on that case. That's 23 CT 628. State.
Yes, Your Honor. Given the fact that he was just arrested for the DUI, placed on pretrial release, has that going, the state would be asking that you take no action on this case.
You mean on the prior case, the PTR case?
Yes, take no action on the PTR case, and then give him a bond.
Hold on. This is Judge Sturbridge. Okay, do you have an emergency warrant? All right, I'm in the middle of first appearances. How emergency is this? All right, I'll take a quick look at it, but if he calls back in, tell him I'm just finishing up first appearances, and I'll address it as soon as I get done, unless I think it requires me to suspend right now and handle it. All right, thank you. All right. Sorry.
Since law enforcement missed the suspension when he was picked up on the DUI, and he is out on pretrial release, we would ask that he remain on pretrial release and either be given a bond or released ROR on this charge, just so that he can get everything straightened out. And then
Has a bond on this charge.
Yes.
For $500, and I will stay that bond. I will take no action as to 23 CT 628, so he'll remain on PTR on that case.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Let me just take, before I call any of the others, let me check and see how emergent this warrant is.
apparently nobody knew how to drive this weekend. There's like a lot of driving.
Folks, this one unfortunately is somewhat time sensitive. Shouldn't take me long, it's just a search warrant.
mean, I love it, but like, I thought it was like a theme party ever. Oh, God.
All right. Back to appearances. Jeremy Davis? Galvez Odea Saman?
Bonded.
Jesus Marquez?
Yes, ma'am. Jesus Antonio Marquez Jr.
All right, Mr. Marquez, if you could please state your name for me?
Jesus Antonio Marquez Jr.
Okay. All right, Mr. Marquez, we have one charge. It's trespass on property after a warning. I do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a bond on this charge, and I will stay that bond. There will be no return to the scene. Thank you, Mr. Marquez.
Your Honor, the state did relay an offer of 7 days OCJ that Mr. Marquez would like to take.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
There's an offer on the case for 7 days jail, and Mr. Marquez would like to take that offer.
You have a plea form?
He would just need to sign it, Your Honor. This says that you give up your right to a trial. What?
Stand right here.
Yep. You have your right to a trial. You have a right to attorney president to have state. Yes, Your Honor.
Trespassing. All right, Mr. Marquez, can you tell me your date of birth, please?
January 30, 1974.
Mr. Marquez, do you read, write, and understand English?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a plea form, and the plea form is in English.
That's correct.
It has a signature on it. Did you sign this plea form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have an opportunity to discuss it with your attorney and ask her any questions you might have before you signed it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you answer those questions to your satisfaction?
Yes, Your Honor.
In this case, Mr. Marquez, there's one charge, it's trespassing on property after a warning. You understand the charge against you in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your attorney indicates that you wish to resolve this case for a negotiated plea of an adjudication of guilt as to the charge, 7 days in the Orange County Jail, and court costs with, is the NR stand for no return to the scene?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, and that address for the record is 5051 Edgewater Drive. That's the Shell station. Please don't go back, Mr. Marquez.
All right, Mr. Marquez, is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol that might affect your ability to understand what we're doing today?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness or an emotional disturbance?
No, Your Honor.
Do you believe that you're suffering from either one of those things today?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that if I accept this plea, you're going to be waiving some rights that you have?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's go over those. You understand that you have the right to a trial by jury. At that trial, you have the right to see and hear all the witnesses who would testify against you and have your attorney ask them questions. You have the right to present any defenses you may have to the charge, including calling witnesses and presenting evidence in your defense. You have the right to remain silent or the right to testify, as you so choose. And you have the right to require that the state of Florida come forward and prove this charge beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. You understand you have all those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you understand that if I accept this plea, there isn't going to be a trial in this case, so you would effectively be waiving all the rights I just mentioned.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you, threaten you, or coerce you to get you to sign this plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone promise you anything to get you to sign this plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Do you believe you signed it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how far did you go in school?
High school.
And are you satisfied with the representation that's been provided for you by your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is is this a second degree misdemeanor?
I believe so, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am. I know it's up to a year.
That's first degree misdemeanor. All right, Mr. Marquez, you understand And only if it applies to you, if you are not a citizen of the United States, the entry of this plea could cause you to be deported.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand, and only if it applies to you, if you've been previously convicted of a sexually motivated offense, the entry of this plea could cause you to be involuntarily civilly committed as a sexually violent predator.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, as to the charge of trespass on property after warning, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
All right, Mr. Marquez, I will accept your plea. I find that you're alert and intelligent, that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered, that you understand the nature of the charge against you, and you're represented by competent counsel with whom you say you're satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Factual basis is established for the plea based upon the affidavit of Orange County Sheriff's Deputy Naresh Ruparilla. Are there any changes or additions to the factual basis, State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense accept the factual basis for purposes of this plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else from the state before I announce the sentence?
No.
Anything else from defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Marquez, anything else you want to say before I announce the sentence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Marquez, in accordance with the agreement that you've reached, I will adjudicate you guilty of the charge of trespass on property after a warning, sentence you to 7 days of Orange County Jail with credit for time served of?
1 day.
1 day? 1 day. There will be no return to the scene, which is located at 5051 Edgewater Drive. That's the Shell station. And there will be court costs and costs of prosecution, and those will be, anybody? $323. Mr. Marquez, you will, within 30 days, need to go to the Orange County Clerk of the Court and provide them with information relative to your income and your assets, and they'll set up a payment plan for you in accordance with your ability to pay, and thereafter you'd make the payments on your court costs to the Orange County Clerk of the Court. You do have the right to appeal the judgment and sentence that I've just entered. If you wish to do so, it must be in writing. It must be filed with the Clerk of the Court. It must be filed within 30 days of today's date. You understand that time frame?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, they'll get some fingerprints on you, and we'll get you out of here. Best of luck to you, sir. All right. Eddie McClendon. Esperanza Morgan. Ma'am, state your full name for me, please.
Esperanza Louise Morgan.
All right, Miss Morgan, there's one charge. It is petty theft. You do find probable cause for the charge. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is a bond on this in the amount of $500. I will stay that bond. And there will be no return to the scene. Okay. I have Carrie Ann Morgan,
Bonded.
Jerry Warren. Mr. Warren, can you state your full name on the record for me, please?
Ken Warren Jr.
All right, Mr. Warren, there's 3 charges. Counts 1 and counts 2 are both battery, and count 3 is trespass on property after a warning. I do find probable cause for all 3 charges. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There are bonds on these 3 charges. Count 1 is $500. Count 2 and 3 are each $100. I will stay those bonds. And there will be no contact with the victims and no return to the scene.
Your Honor, can we have a no alcohol or drugs as well? Appears he was belligerent.
Yes. All right. No drugs or alcohol except those medications prescribed by a medical professional. Thank you, Mr. Warren.
Nope, just take it with you.
Kathleen Holly Thomas.
Nope, I don't have that one.
Is that the main number, Your Honor?
I'm sorry, Giancarlo Bologna.
Yes.
All right. State your name on the record for me, please.
Giancarlo Bologna.
All right, Mr. Bologna, the arrest was on a felony warrant for a failure to appear. I will appoint the public defender, I'm sorry, I won't put, it's out of Seminole County. They will be picking you up on that warrant, transferring you to Seminole County. Thank you, Mr. Bologna.
Even if I have a bond?
You have a bond.
There is a bond on the warrant. Mark Horton? State your name on the, full name on the record for me, please.
Mark Anthony Lionel Horton.
All right, Mr. Horton, they picked you up on an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County. That is for a simple assault. There is no bond on that warrant. They will be picking you up and transporting you to Lake County. Tamarcus King,
Yes, ma'am.
state your full name on the record for me, please.
So Marcus King.
All right, Mr. King, we have a warrant out of St. Lucie County for third-degree grand theft. There is a bond on that warrant in the amount of $5,000. There is, however, you were out on bond in this case in 22 CF 7029. So the bond on that will be revoked. I will appoint the public defender to represent. You're already appointed on the underlying case, correct?
I am unsure at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. King, thank you. Daniel Sanchez Nieto?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, there is a warrant out of Osceola County.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a bond on that warrant in the amount of $1,000. They will transport you to Osceola.
There's no way that I can pay here.
So if you bond, you can bond, but if not, they're gonna transfer you to Osceola, okay?
But I can get out over there. Okay, when they're gonna come?
Usually 3 days, maybe 4 hours.
There's no way
He
that I
has
can pay.
fugitive warrants, so he won't get out.
Huh?
He has fugitive warrants out of Texas, so he won't get out.
Okay, so they'll transfer you to Osceola, okay?
Do that.
David Arthur, step up, state your name for me, please.
David Michael Arthur?
All right, Mr. Arthur, they have a warrant issued for violation of probation. There will be no bond on that warrant. It's out of Orange County. That is an Orange County warrant.
I was just positive.
And I'll appoint the public defender on the VOP.
This is the second POP.
I don't have the information. And Your Honor, how much was in the bond?
Sorry?
No bond for the VOP?
No bond on a VOP. Joseph Landecho. All right, Mr. Landecho, there is a warrant for a violation of probation. There is no bond on the warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Crystal Mateo. State your full name on the record for me, please, ma'am.
Crystal Mateo.
All right, Ms. Mateo, there are several warrants for violation of probation. They are in 21 CF 15520 with an underlying charge of grand theft third degree. CF 15577 with an underlying charge of grand theft third degree. 22 CF 66 with an underlying charge of grand theft third degree. '22 CF 3755 with an underlying charge of grand theft third degree. 21 CF 15578 with an underlying charge of grand theft third degree. Might be a duplicate. those are all warrants for violation of probation. There's no bond on the BOP warrants. Those are in Orange County. There is an out-of-county warrant for Osceola County, and that's for a charge of violation of probation on a possession of cocaine. That has a bond on it, but there's a specific request from the agency to place a hold for extradition. So how does that work? I'm not gonna place any hold on it. There's a bond on that warrant in the amount of $2,500. I will appoint the public defender to represent you on each of these VOP cases in Orange County, and they will transport to Osceola County to address that one there. Best of luck to you, ma'am. Markel Willis. Okay. Mr. Willis, there's a warrant for a violation of probation in case number 21 CF 15098. There is no bond on the VOP warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you on the VOP. Waldy Disla? Do you have an empty room back there? Oh, good. It'd be a problem if there's people left in there.
I wanted to know what that fight was about. The last guy, I wanted to know what they were fighting about. It's a little.
I guess it's sort of like riding a bicycle.
Only after he's done about 30 years, yes. Yes.
All right, we are on the record. This is Judge Wish. It's session 2. Can I have appearances for the State Attorney's Office and the Office of the Public Defender, please?
Brenda Eugene on behalf of the State Attorney's Office.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Fresno Leon, certified Spanish interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
Okay, good morning. This is Judge Wish, and I have the defendant at the podium. Could you just confirm you've made contact, please?
The interpreter can confirm there is connection with the headsets, Your Honor.
Good afternoon or morning. Tell me your name, sir.
Jose Ramirez Diaz. Jose Ramirez Diaz.
All right, Mr. Ramirez Diaz, you're here in case number 2023 CF 1201. You were arrested for trafficking in fentanyl of 4 grams or more, sale and delivery of fentanyl, delivery of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a convenience business, delivery of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a place of worship, and
My apologies.
trafficking in cocaine.
My apologies, Your Honor. May you repeat the last statement? Thank you.
Which one?
Convenience,
So it's
trafficking
delivery
close
of
to
a
a,
co- yeah, delivery of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a convenience business. Delivery of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a place of worship. Trafficking in cocaine over 28 grams, less than 200 grams. And I don't find probable cause. I have an affidavit that says on 126 at approximately 12:40 hours, I was working as an undercover.
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor. Can I please have the 24 hours, Your Honor?
okay. So I'll give the state 24 hours to provide the court with probable cause as to those offenses. Mr. Ramirez Diaz, you do have bonds and on the counts. They are set as follows: 100,000, 150, 150, 150, and 50,000. So if you're able to bond out, you can bond out. If not, you'll be seen tomorrow by a judge. It does not appear that you qualify for the public defender based on your income. You indicated that you make $2,000 a week. Is that accurate?
Sí.
Okay, and you have
Yes.
two dependents?
Correcto.
Okay,
Correct.
all right. So you don't qualify. If you want to hire a lawyer, you'll be seen tomorrow if you're not going to bond out. So you may want to contact a lawyer if you're unable to bond out, okay? We'll see you tomorrow if you haven't bonded out. All right, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no, I mean, this is the only line I have. I was working as an undercover. So no PC.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that is it for the Spanish.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful day.
Have a great day. All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Jose Manuel Pagan Baez.
All right, Mr. Pagan Baez, and then Mr. Fisher, you filed a notice of appearance, or you will be filing a notice?
We filed a notice of appearance as to the case I was aware of, which is CF 23-1028 A, and I assume this is simply them adding additional charges. That's the impression that I get.
Okay, yeah, correct. So 23 CF 1199, and I'm pretty sure I read the same affidavit in the other case. I'm not really sure of the probable cause for the offenses. All of them is listed. I'm not,
Your Honor, not all of, it's not the same offenses.
okay, so for purposes of sale and delivery of a controlled substance,
I think what was charged before was trafficking. The sale and delivery, because the allegation is a controlled buy was set up.
right, so he has the controlled buy.
When they did a search of the apartment, they found a short barrel
Got
gun.
that. I don't know about, so, and the other one is, I guess count 3 is supposed to be the possession of the body armor,
Yes, Your Honor.
which I think they indicated is a,
Bulletproof vest.
I understand that. The neglect of a child, other than the fact that child's in the vehicle,
No objection.
okay. So I don't necessarily find PC for neglect of a child. I mean, whether the state charges that is a different thing. And then possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony.
Would be,
There is a firearm in the home and possession, so I find PC for that. All right, so, Mr. Pagan Baez, you're not to have any, weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Mr. Fisher, did you want to be heard as to bond?
I'm only going to, I'll just relay briefly that he's been in Orlando area for 20 years at this point. He lives here. He's not going anywhere else.
All
I
right,
guess his
so-
father's up in New York. I don't know where his mother is. I guess he has some family in Puerto Rico, but he's been
Well,
here
he's
20
got
years.
bigger issues in another case, so, count 1, I'm setting at 15,000, count 2, 150, count 3, 150, count 4 is ROR, since I didn't find probable cause for that, and count 5 is 150.
Okay. And are these additional charges to the prior ones, or is this a amendment as
Not-
to what
it
they're
says
holding them
add-
on?
It says add-on on the top, so my guess is it might be consolidated if charged, but I don't know how the state will charge it if they decide to charge it.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Different case number. All right, thank you, Mr. Fisher. Anything else?
Nothing else?
Okay.
Nothing from the state. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, tell me your name, please.
Michael Lincoln McCrate.
All right, 2023 CT 592 AO. And you said Lincoln is your last name?
Yeah, Lincoln.
Okay, all right,
It's
Mr.
hyphenated,
Lincoln.
ma'am.
You're charged with driving with license suspended or revoked.
I'm gonna ask for pretrial release, Your Honor. He does qualify, and it appears he may have a guardian, and so I don't wanna.
Okay, yeah, I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. No driving without a valid driver's license, and I'll release you on pretrial release, Mr. Lincoln, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck. Tell me your name.
Joseph.
Is it Serrano, your last name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're here in 2023 CF 1152 AO. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and petty theft. I do find that there is probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You may not return back to 1854 Central Florida Parkway. No contact with any victim or witness in the case. And he did not qualify?
He did not, Your Honor.
I'm gonna set your bond on count 1 at 1,500 and count 2 at 100. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Jamil Brumfield is mental health, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, I don't have any paperwork yet, so.
Misdemeanors. We are misdemeanor pleadables now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You said Brumfield? Mental health, okay.
I'm gonna waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Jim Mel Brumfield is mental health. I'll appoint the public defender's office. Charged with 2023 MM 605 AO with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause, no return to the links, and no contact with any victim or witness, and abide by any trespass warning. The bond will remain at $250. All right, tell me your name. Oh,
Emilian, Elijah.
No, not you, not you. Hold on.
DELOSREYESHOOD. He bonded.
he bonded, okay. All right, tell me your name.
Oh, yeah, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, Jeremiah, my first name. My middle name, Elijah. And my last name, Emilian.
All right, Mr. Emilian, you're here in 2023 MM 598 AO. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
find that there's probable cause? Was there an offer to resolve the case today?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state was an adjudication of guilt, 10 days in the Orange County Jail. I'm assuming with credit for 2, no return to 7-Eleven located at 30 North Summerlin Avenue. And Mr. Emilian would like to accept an interplea of no contest.
Okay, Mr. Emilian, I'll have you raise your right hand to be sworn in. Other hand, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you read and sign this plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Did you understand all the rights that you're giving up by entering this plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Oh, I'm a USA citizen.
Okay, all right. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 days with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to the 7-Eleven at 30 North Summerlin Avenue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll order court costs. I'll give you a year to pay the court costs. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days.
Okay.
Good luck.
You have a good one.
You too.
Your Honor, in this particular case, I didn't see a history. I was actually gonna ask for an ROR, given that he has no criminal history. The offer was a withhold credit time served. I could have it reset for tomorrow.
My concern is he's at an airport trying to get on a plane. He's transient. I don't know where he lives. I don't know anything.
We did talk to him, it looks like, Your Honor.
Okay.
From what our officer said, he's traveling here from Puerto Rico, and I think he was trying to return home to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he's trying to get back to Puerto Rico.
I'll reset for tomorrow because they could probably plea him out so he can go.
Okay, I don't know if the state will have an offer, but,
There's an
An offer
offer.
was relayed.
okay, all right. We'll just reset it for tomorrow for
I apologize.
possible-
What was the reason he wasn't here today?
Mental.
Thank you.
Yeah. So can we put in the court minutes possible plea, reset for possible plea? And then, do we have an offer? I don't know, Ms. Eugene, if
Withhold.
you'll be here tomorrow, so we can put it in the court minutes or something?
Oh, go ahead.
It's a withhold of adjudication and credit time served.
Okay, so that way the judge here knows. All right, so we'll just do a reset.
He's not gonna, it's okay. I'll waive the appearance. They're telling me he's not gonna be able to come tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So I would just have you set.
Okay, well, sorry.
I thought he would come, but.
Okay, so, okay.
So when-
So, Mr. Lazu, I'll appoint the public defender's office, and are you going to waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, 2023 MM 611AO, it's a resisting without violence and a disorderly conduct. There's probable cause, and no return back to the airport unless you have unless he has a ticket to fly. And I'll stay the bond at the 500, count two will be 100. All right, tell me your name.
Lima Ortiz.
Ms. Ortiz, you're here in 2023 MM 586AO. It's trespass on property after warning. I do find that there's probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer was a withhold credit time served, no return to 600 Rouse Road, which is a Circle K, and Ms. Ortiz would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. Ms. Ortiz, I'll have you raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And then, did you sign and read this plea form?
I did.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
I did.
You understand all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
I do.
Are you on probation anywhere? Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find that there's a factual basis to accept your plea of no contest. I'll withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served. No return to 600 Rouse Road. And I'll impose court costs, and that's the Circle K. I'll impose court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
All right, tell me your name.
Christian Suarez.
All right, Mr. Suarez, you're here in 2023 MM 587AO. It's a trespass on property after warning. I do find that there's probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Circle K located at 600 Rouse Road, and Mr. Suarez would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Suarez, I'll have you raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and understand everything contained within it?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
You on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find that there's a factual basis to accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served, no return back to the Circle K at 600 Rouse Road. I'll impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Tawana Washington is mental health, Your Honor.
And I will waive, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Washington is mental health, and I'll appoint the public defender, 2023 MM 608AO. It's trespass on property after warning, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause, no return back to the 1491 Rio Grande Avenue, and abide by any trespass warning, no contact with witnesses or victims. And the bond will stay at 500 on count 1, 100 on count 2. Tell me your name.
Willis, ma'am.
Mr. Willis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Willis, you're here in 2023 MM 599AO. You're arrested for petty theft of $100 or more. If you find that there is probable cause for that offense, I'll appoint the public defender. Can't have any contact with any victims or witnesses. You can't return back to that Walgreens.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna stay the bond at the $500. I'm not gonna revoke your release, Mr. Willis, today, but you're out on release for petty theft and then some other offenses, drug stuff. So they're older cases. I don't know what's going on with them, but if you come back again and you have 3 cases and then a 4th case, chances are somebody's gonna revoke the release, okay? So just make sure you know what you're doing.
Are you releasing me today?
Well, you have a bond. Okay, I'm not revoking your other bonds, but we were releasing, but you could keep, stay out of trouble.
Can you release me, Your Honor? I got a job.
You have a $500 bond. You're lucky that I'm not revoking your other releases. Okay,
God bless you, ma'am.
all right. Tell me your name. All right, Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2022 MM 4572AO. You failed to appear for pretrial on January 6th of 2023. The judge did revoke the release, but did set your bonds at $2,000 on each count. Does he have the public defender? Somebody, or an attorney? Just want to make sure he has a lawyer.
He has a lawyer. He has Miss Sweet, sorry.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you'll have to contact Ms. Sweet if you can't bond out, but you have bonds, okay? Okay. I don't know what happened, but I can't change the KPS bonds. I don't have the authority to do that, okay? Yeah. Tell me your name.
Frazier, Cedric Frazier.
All right, Mr. Frazier, you're here in 2023 MO 149AO. It's a disorderly conduct. There's probable cause. Was there an offer?
The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2. Then Mr. Frazier would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest. Your
Mr. Frazier, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Okay. Did you read and sign that plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find that there's a factual basis to accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days with credit for 2 days, time served. I'll impose court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck. Tell me your name. All right, ma'am, you're here in 2023 MO 150AO. It's a camping in a prohibited place. I do find that there's probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is a withhold and credit time served. And she would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm gonna try to butcher your last name.
Ma'am, did you read and sign this plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I forgot to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear and you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you read and signed the plea
Yes,
form?
ma'am.
All right, and did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all those rights you're giving up by entering this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find that there's a factual basis to accept your no contest plea. I'll withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served, order court costs, give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Tell me, hi, Mr. Hoover.
Morning.
How you doing?
All right.
All right. You're here in 2023 MO 151AO. It's a disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is an adjudication of guilt, 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2, and court costs. Mr. Hoover would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. Mr. Hoover, have you raise your right hand for me? You swear and affirm testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you read and sign this plea form?
Ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within that plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I find a factual basis to accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days with credit for 2 days' time served. Order that you pay court costs, give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. And I won't take any action on the out on release case. Good luck. Tell me your name.
Walter Latimer.
Mr. Latimer, you're here in 2023 MO 152AO. You're arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find that there's probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, the offer is an adjudication of guilt, 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2, and court costs. Mr. Latimer would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Mr. Latimer, I'll have you raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, did you sign this plea form and read it?
I did.
Did you understand everything contained within it?
I did.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
I do.
Are you on probation anywhere?
I am not.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
I do.
I find a factual basis to accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days with credit for 2 days' time served. Order court costs, give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Thank you.
Tell me your name, please.
Brian Pompey.
All right, Mr. Pompey, you're here in 2023 MO 153AO. It's a camping in a prohibited place. I do find probable cause. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and court costs. Mr. Pompey would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Pompey, I'll have you raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, did you sign and read this plea form?
I did.
You understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
understand all those rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, Your
Are you on probation anywhere?
Honor. No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I do find there's a factual basis to accept your no contest plea. I'll withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served. Order court costs, give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Thank you.
And then Latron Thomas bonded.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Stay at bonded? Okay. Yeah. Tell me your name.
Trayvon Belgrave.
All right, Mr. Belgrave, you're here in 2023 CT 98AE. You were arrested for no valid driver's license, and I do find that there is probable cause. I think you're on probation, so we're not gonna do anything with the case today, okay? I'll appoint the public defender's office. You can't drive without a valid driver's license. Your bond will stay at the $500. Tell me your name.
Mr. Odom.
Mr. Odom, you're here in 2022 CT 6886AO. You failed to appear for an arraignment for driving while license suspended. The judge did set your bond at $2,000.
Your Honor, there was an offer to resolve.
Okay.
With a withhold of adjudication credit time served. In court cause, Mr. Odom would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay, have we looked at the driving record just to make sure there's no
I believe
major issues? Let me just take a look and.
that it may be the third.
Really?
Based on what I was reading. I did explain that to Mr. Odom as well, and he would still like to resolve the case.
Okay, yeah, so he had,
I believe 2 and
a conviction in 2022, and then another, so he's had 2 convictions in 2022. This would be his third.
Yes,
So
sir.
I want to, Mr. Odom, I'm going to have you raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, and so you're charged with driving while license suspended, which is an enhanceable offense. If you have 3 convictions for that and any other qualifying offense within 5 years, or 5 years, your license will be suspended for 5 years, okay? Do you understand? So you're gonna be labeled a habitual traffic offender. You won't be able to get your license.
5 years. I just got a question on that.
Do you wanna do this today, or do you wanna talk to a lawyer and, because I don't know what you need to do to get your license back. It looks like you have a bunch of things to do. And, you know, sometimes the state is willing to give you that opportunity to do that, or the judge, and then the state will then amend the charge, or, because the court can't just dismiss something, but, I would hate to see you lose your license for 5 years today without really knowing your options.
Yes, ma'am, but yesterday I tried to bond out. It was telling me I needed, like collateral. Oh.
Well, I can't change the capias, okay? And you have a bond, so that's good. You're not sitting in there at no bond. I'm just concerned that you might not have had as much time to talk to somebody. Not that Miss George doesn't know what she's doing, but I mean, yeah. I would hate for you to lose your license for 5 years and it happened today because you just want to get out of jail, you know?
Absolutely, but I am missing out on a lot of important things that's going on. So
Yeah. Is there anyone that can bond you out?
I don't have no family.
No?
Sleep
Okay. I can't change the capia, so, I mean, I can do the plea, but chances are you're not gonna be able to get your plea vacated just because of you wanting to get out of jail today, and then, so that's a decision you have to make.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you wanna do? Cause you're gonna lose your license for 5 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's
You wanna what?
I'm gonna have to find a way to work around it.
Which way? What, like getting the bond, or
No, like work around. I have my license, taking the plea.
there is no way to work around it?
No, I mean like when I take the plea, I'm gonna have to just. You know what I'm saying? Find a way.
He's saying he's gonna find somebody
around
to try to bring him around.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Odom, I've explained to you, and I think Miss George has explained to you that it's an enhanceable offense. You're gonna lose your license for 5 years. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you've read this plea form? Did you read the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would prevent you from understanding what's happening here today? Have you had an opportunity to speak with Ms. George about the case?
Yes, ma'am.
And she's answered all of your questions that you have?
Yes, ma'am.
And I've talked to you about the driving while license suspended, and so do you understand everything that I've explained to you?
Yes, ma'am, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I did have a question. If I was to try to resolve this, how long would that take? You know, how long would I be sitting trying to resolve avoiding my license being suspended for 5 years?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
He's asking, the process if he was, to not take the plea, how long?
Well,
he
you
would be
have a
waiting.
bond, so if you can't make the bond, I've appointed the public defender, and they can file a motion with the judge in your division to try to get you a bond or get you a court date and see what other options there are for you.
That's fine. I'll just go with the plea, Your Honor.
He wants to go with the plea.
Okay. All right, so we've discussed everything. You understand everything that's going to happen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. All right, and are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I do find, based on the information in the court file, that there's a factual basis for the driving while license suspended with knowledge, and I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll withhold adjudication. Do we know how much time served he has? So it looks like just 2 days. Okay, so, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served and impose court costs. And I'll give you a year to pay the court costs. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name, please.
And, I had a PC challenge, Your Honor.
Okay, so did I.
Okay. And I believe the state is in agreement.
We're on the same page. Okay. Oh, Mr. Thank you. All right, and so this is 2023 CF 1150AO. Mr. Henderson's charged with burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. He didn't fill out a form for the public defender, so I don't know, but I don't find probable cause for the burglary because I don't know what offense it is therein that he was attempting to commit, only that there's a trespass in a structure, or dwelling, I guess, which is really the same.
Yes.
It's an M1. I just don't know. I have to look at the statute, or Ms. Eugene, if you have any argument.
Absolutely none, Your Honor.
Okay.
If you would be willing to find trespass, however, statute appears to be 810.09.
Okay, I find probable cause for the lesser included offense of trespass. Is that the trespass in a dwelling?
That is just for remains in any property other than a structure or conveyance.
Well, it's a structure, so let me,
Okay.
810. So it's 810.08-12. Okay. Trespass in a dwelling. In a dwelling. Okay.
Wanted to argue that, I have a.
Okay, hold on. I don't think you should argue anything. So, no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, abide by any trespass warning, and no contact with any victims or witnesses. Did you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? I think he has the PD on the PTD case that he's in. So, I'll appoint the public defender for that, for this new case. I'm gonna set the bond at $500. I'm not gonna take any action on the out on release case, because it's in PTD, but chances are, you know, you're probably gonna get taken out of the pretrial diversion.
I got a trespass warning. I was.
Tell me your name, please.
Addis Malik.
Mr. Ballack, you're here in 2023 CF 1187AO. You're arrested for possession of cannabis more than 20 grams. I do find that there's probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Are you planning on, huh? Oh, we do? Okay. Okay. Were you gonna hire Mr. Oshevsky? I know, I see that you have him on your other case.
I think so, yes.
Okay, but you didn't fill out a form for the PD, right?
I did that.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I can appoint them if you qualify. I think he has the other.
He has
seat there.
Should be the.
Can we read it? Usually I can't even read it.
Yes, Your Honor.
If he qualifies.
He has no income. No
Okay.
home income.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. If you want to hire a lawyer later on, you can. And so no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'll state the bond at the 1,000. I won't take any action on the out on release case, but you are in pretrial diversion. You might get taken out, okay? Good luck. Tell me your name.
Chrissy Bass.
Ms. Bass, you're here in 2023 CF 1186AO. You were arrested for battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. You're to maintain a separate residence from either a victim or witness in this case. I'll allow you one-time return with law enforcement to get any personal belongings. Your bond will stay at $2,500. I'll take no action on the PTD out on release case, but you might get taken out of that program. Tell me your name, please.
Adam Rafael Batista.
All right, Mr. Batista, you're here in 2020 CF 4426. You were arrested for failing to appear for an arraignment, and the judge did revoke your release and set your bond at none. I'll appoint the public defender's office if you don't already have them. They'll have to file a motion for you.
She can't.
Jeffrey Cooper is mental health, Your Honor.
I will waive, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the public defender for Mr. Cooper, 2023 CF 1182. It's possession of cocaine. No, I find probable cause, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and the bond will stay at 1,000. Tell me your, oh. Tell me your name.
Hassan Cummings.
Mr. Cummings, you're here in 2020 CF 13650. You're arrested for failing to appear for a status hearing. The judge did revoke your release, but set your bonds at 4,000 on count 1 and 600 on count 2.
Yeah, well,
I can't change the KPSs. I'm not allowed to do that. I don't, does he have the public defender already?
I was incarcerated.
Yes, Your Honor, it's ours.
I understand that. That's something that your attorney will have to raise in a motion with the court, okay? I can't
already
change that.
Agreed to.
I have no legal authority to change the capias, okay? You also have a hold for Duval County.
Yes.
Tell me your name, please.
Joseph Timothy DeChucka.
All right, Mr. DeChecka, you're here in 2023 CF 1189 AO. It's an aggravated battery with a weapon. You do find that there's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. No contact with any victim or witness, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. No return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. Your bond will stay set at $3,500. Good luck. Tell me your name, please.
Patrick Donald.
Mr. Donald, you're here in 2021 CF 5799. You failed to appear for an arraignment, and the judge did revoke your bonds and set the bonds at none, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. They'll have to file a bond motion for you in the division, okay?
Thank you.
Tell me your name.
Donnell Foster.
All right, Mr. Foster, you're here in 2023 CF 1161AO, and it's a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for possession of methamphetamine, sale and delivery of methamphetamine, possession of cocaine, and sale and delivery of cocaine. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. No contact with any witnesses. And the bond on count 1 will be 150, count 2 will remain at 10,000, count 3 will be 150, and count 4 will remain at 10,000. Tell me your name.
Christopher Everett.
Mr. Everett, you're here in 2023 CF 1050. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer with lights and sirens activated. And I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. And your bond will be set at $10,000. You're out on release in 2023 CT 355 AO, 2023 CF 634 AO, and 2023 CF 564 AO. I am revoking the releases, setting the bonds at none. I'll appoint the public defender's office in all of the cases if you don't have them. Tell me your name, please. Mr. Farmer, you're here in 2022 CF 11434. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver. And I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm just gonna stay the bond as set at the $2,500. Tell me your name.
Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, you're here in 2023 CF 1195 AO. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting an officer without violence. It's like just destroying evidence. And then it says possession with intent to sell, but I find it for the lesser included offense of possession only, based on what's in the affidavit. I have to look up. Count 4. Does anyone know what just possession of heroin is? I have 893.136A dash 51. All right. And I'll appoint the public defender if I didn't already say that. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Count 1 will be set at 100, count 2, 100, count 3, 150, count 4, 1,000.
Something about raised.
It's possession of heroin.
It was 500.
All right, tell me your name, please. Mr. Gray, you're here in 2023 CF 11790. It's a robbery with a firearm and grand theft third degree. I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Count 1 is a punishable by life felony.
And we will reserve the right to have an article.
Okay, so, Mr. Gray, I'm gonna hold you at no bond on count 1. Your attorneys will file a motion, in a bond motion in the division, within a reasonable amount of time. In count 2, I'll set the bond at 5,000. No contact with any victims or witnesses, no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're out on release. And I have 2023 MM535, 2022 CF 12770, and 2022 MM7422. And I'm revoking the releases and setting the bonds at none. I'll appoint the PD if you don't already have them. 2022 MM7422. T2.
How quick we can get it done.
Tell me your name, please.
Your Honor, my name is Justin Michael Guerrero.
All right, Mr. Guerrero, you're here in 2023 CF 1162AO. You're arrested for armed trespass in an occupied structure, aggravated assault with a firearm, petty theft, and aggravated assault with a firearm. There is probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. No return back to the 7-Eleven at 3711 Dixie Bell Drive. No contact with any victims or witnesses. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. Count 1, I'm gonna keep at the 150. Count 2 will be 5,000. Count 3 will be 100. Count 4 will be 5,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Byron Howard.
All right, Mr. Howard, you're here in 2023 CF 1183. You were arrested for possession of MDMA, possession of cannabis more than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. If you find that there is probable cause, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
The bonds will stay at 1,000, 150, and 100. You're out on release in 2022 CF 14345AO. I am revoking the release and setting that at none. I'll appoint the PD if you don't have them already.
Your Honor, he's working full-time. He's been there for 8 months. I would ask if you're gonna revoke, that you revoke in double, as opposed to holding him at no bond. Mr. Howard will lose his job if he has to sit here on a no bond status.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you get arrested and you're out on release for possession with intent, for the same charges, and it's a month ago. So I'm gonna revoke, and his attorney can file a motion, and judge can hear any testimony as it relates to what Mr. Howard wants to tell them, but, that's my decision today.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name.
Mohammed Kubali.
All right, sir, you're here in 2023 CF 439. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle and grand theft third degree. I don't have a form for the, oh, we got a form to qualify? Okay, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. No return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No contact with any victims or witnesses. I'll stay the bonds as set. 500 and 150.
Thomas Leslie Jordan refused, Your Honor.
All right, I'll find the refusal to be a waiver, appoint the public defender. We had a bond correction as to count one as well. So 2023 CF 1153, it's burglary of an unoccupied structure, possession of a controlled substance without a valid prescription. There's 2 counts. Possession of a weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. No return to the scene. No contact with any witnesses or victims, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. The bond on count 1 was wrong. I'm changing it to 3,500. Count 2 will be 150. Count 3, 150. Count 4, 2,500. Count 5, 100. All right, tell me your name.
Robert William Pipers.
All right, Mr. Kuipers, you're here in 2023 CF 856. I received an order by Judge Harris that was entered yesterday. You have Mr. Moses as your attorney?
Yes,
Okay. So you're charged with sexual battery on a person over the age of 8. I have to look at what it is here. Okay.
And Your Honor, just so you know, his bond's been posted, it looks.
Okay, so we don't need to do that, but
It
you
looks
did
like
have
you
the
posted
bonds
bond.
of 7,000, 1,000, and 7,000.
It was like a couple days ago, and the clerk that was.
It was yesterday that it was entered,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
okay? So it looks like your bond got posted,
Yeah, it's pending.
I had the guy waiting outside to post it. Oh, so it's already
and
on.
then,
I'm sorry, what was it? 7,000, 1,000, and,
It-
thank you.
Thank you.
I thank Judge Harris, and, because I didn't do it.
You all have a blessed day.
Yeah, his conditions are, and it'll be on his release paperwork, no contact directly or indirectly with the victim, and no contact with any witnesses. That was all she put on the order.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'll rip this one up, the PD form. All right, tell me your name.
Antonio Lemon, Garfield.
Mr. Lemon. You're here in 2023 CF 1172AO. You're arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance and criminal mischief between 200 and 1,000. I do find that there's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in that case. No return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No contact with any victims, witnesses, or co-defendants. The bonds will remain set at 3,500 and 150. You also have 2023 CF 778AO. It's a warrant as well. Probable cause was found for burglary of a dwelling and petty theft. No contact with any victims or witnesses. No return to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. The bonds will stay at 7,500 and 500. I'll appoint the PD in that case as well. You're out on release in 2 cases. 2022 CF 733 and 2022 CF 9051. I am revoking the release, setting those at none. And I don't know if you have attorneys, but I'll appoint the PD if he does not.
Thomas Lenore, refused, Your Honor.
Find Mr. Lenore's refusal to be a waiver. I'll appoint the public defender, 2023 CF 1181AO. It's a grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, possession of cocaine. There's probable cause. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. No contact with any victims or witnesses. The bonds will stay at $3,500, $500. It's out on release, 2022 CF 12534AO. I'm revoking and setting that at none, and I'll appoint the PD if he doesn't already have them. Tell me your name.
Robert Maples.
2022 CF 842AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for possession of a firearm by convicted felon, 2 counts. Battery of a law enforcement officer, possession of a controlled substance with a prescription? That doesn't make sense. Without a prescription. Without a prescription. Possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. So first one's fentanyl, then methamphetamine, and then driving while license suspended, and then attaching a tag not assigned. So, okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Can't drive without a valid driver's license, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Count 1 will remain at 5,000, count 2, 150, count 3 will remain at 1,000, count 4 is 150, count 5 is 150, count 6 is 100, and count 7 is 100. 5,000, 150, 1,000.
Is there a bond on the Martin County hold?
No.
You gotta post the bond.
I have Martin County, I don't know if.
Yeah, there's no
Said no.
bond on it.
McCaskill bonded, 23002319.
They bonded.
All right, tell me your name.
Mario Miles.
Mr. Miles, you're here in 2023 CF 1197. It's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There is probable cause, and I don't have a form for the public defender unless we have one over there. No, did you fill one out? No, are you gonna hire your own lawyer? No? Okay. All right, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, no contact with any victims or witnesses. Your bond will stay at the 2,000.
Is he pro se?
I guess so.
Good morning, Court.
Tell me your name.
Ricardo Rodriguez, ma'am. Pagan Rodriguez, ma'am. That's my first name.
Okay, you're here in 2023 CF 889. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant.
I will waive the reading, Your Honor, too.
Probable cause was found. Did you discuss what he's charged
Reported.
with?
Yeah, and the.
Okay. And so probable cause was previously found. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You have reporting requirements. You need to comply with those. Your bond is set at 2,500. And 2023 MM 589AO, it's a resisting an officer without violence. I don't know if there was an offer.
There wasn't, Your Honor.
I don't know if he wants to resolve it today, the resisting, but if there is an offer,
Yeah, I'm okay with a credit time served offer, Your Honor, if he wants to resolve it today.
you want to do that, Mr. Pagan?
I mean, what is the,
It's an adjudication, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, if you give me a second, I can.
she can explain to me, ma'am?
I'm gonna let Ms. George explain it to you, okay?
No, I wanna fight that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, he wants to fight that charge. So he just asked that you set a bond.
Okay. The bond is stayed at the $500. I'll appoint the public defender in that one as well. And again, you have reporting requirements.
Sir, my bond was set already.
Sure.
For that. For the, violation of the, resisting arrest, ma'am.
Oh,
That's the only warrant, the one with the warrant didn't have a bond. Resisting
Your
arrest
Honor,
was
he's saying
400.
the resisting was set at 100.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Was it?
Well, it's 500 now.
It was 100?
No, it was 500.
I said no, it's
I had
100.
the paperwork. Okay, see, ma'am.
No, it's 500.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
All right, tell me your name.
Brian Peel.
All right, Mr. Peel, you're here in 2023 CF 1185. You were arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer and driving with a suspended or revoked license. I do find that there's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You can't drive without a valid driver's license. I'm gonna put you on pretrial release.
Okay.
If a law enforcement officer tells you to stop, stop, okay? That's not necessarily a condition, that's the law, so you don't need to worry about putting it in there. Megan and everybody, okay? Just. Yeah, that's, and put him on pretrial release, yeah. All right, tell me your name.
Montarius Redham.
All right, Mr. Redding, you're here in 2022 CF 6846. It's for failure to appear capious, and the judge did revoke the release and set your bond at 2,000. Does he have a lawyer in the case?
I don't see the,
I want to make sure.
no, I don't see one.
Do you have a lawyer?
He doesn't have a lawyer, yes.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna, all right, I'll appoint the public defender for you, okay?
Leslie Robinson, bonded, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, tell me your name.
William Rosario.
All right, Mr. Rosario, you're here in 2023 CF 1194. You're arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with lights and sirens activated and driving while license revoked. And I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Do not drive without a valid driver's license. The bond is set at 3,500. Count two is 500. Just make sure you stop when a law enforcement officer tells you to stop.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna go. I haven't,
Don't say anything. Just telling you some good advice, okay?
thank you.
Shakia Simmons bonded.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, tell me your name.
Anthony Stewart.
Oh, did Stella Diaz? Okay. All right, Mr. Stewart. You're here in 2023 CF 892. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for written and electronic threats to do a mass shooting. And I don't have a form for the public defender unless there's one over there for Mr. Stewart. Did you fill one out?
No, ma'am.
No? Are you gonna hire a lawyer?
My mother said she had somebody, and I guess they're not here at this time.
Okay, do you know who it is?
Someone at Leopard Law Firm.
At where?
Leopard Law Firm.
Okay, is it Joel Leopard?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Did he know about today?
I called my mother and I asked her if he could come by, and she said she'd call him, and I guess she must have forgotten to call him.
Okay. Well, I can temporarily appoint the PD for today's purposes, but, because I just want to make sure you have a lawyer. I don't know if Mr. Leopard filed a notice of appearance. Let me just check. Yeah, Mr. Leopard filed a notice of appearance. Okay, so you do have him as your lawyer. All right. All right, and this Division 14. Okay, so you can't return to where the threats were being made to, and no contact with any witnesses in the case. I am going to stay the bond. Mr. Leopard can file a motion in the division, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition either. You're to surrender any weapons or firearms or any ammunition upon 6 hours of your release from incarceration to your local law enforcement agency. So Mr. Leopard knows about the case because he's in, so you may want to contact him so that he can file a bond motion if you're unable to bond out. Okay, Mr. Stewart?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck. All right, tell me your name. All right, sir, you're here in 2023 CF 1165AO. You were arrested for kidnapping, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and battery. And I do find that there is probable cause. And I'll appoint the public defender. You also have 2023 MM 590AO. It's an open container. And I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. The open container bond will stay at 500. And is the kidnapping a life felony?
Yeah, punishable by life, Your Honor.
Punishable by life, okay. Does state want to be heard as to bond?
The allegation is, Your Honor, that he pulled a woman who was walking down the street into some bushes and then mounted her. Yes, Your Honor, I'd like him to be held no bond.
Ms. George?
You have the discretion to set bond. I don't see any convictions. That's the only reason I'm asking you to use your discretion to set a bond in this case.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna leave it at no bond, and you can file an Arthur hearing, motion downtown based on what I'm reading in the affidavit,
No.
All right, and so, Mr. Siddiq, no contact with any victim or witness, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition, and you may not return back to Universal Boulevard. And so your bond will remain at none on count 1. Count 2 will remain at 2,500, count 3 at 500.
I'm sorry, you said 7,500?
It's 2,500, yeah.
And then 500?
Yeah, and then 500 on the open container.
We're gonna have to have an Arthur hearing discussing defense. It's no. You're welcome.
All right, tell me your name, please.
Cisse Tesfa Miriam.
All right, you're here in 2023 CF 1180AO. You were arrested for robbery with a firearm. I do find that there's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. It's a punishable by life felony.
We'll reserve our right to have an Arthur hearing.
So I'm gonna stay the bond at none. Your attorney will file a motion in the trial division within a reasonable amount of time. And you're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No contact with any victims or witnesses. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. All right, thank you. Tell me your name. Mr. Thomas? Okay. Mr. Thomas, you're here in 2023 CF 1007. This is a warrant. Probable cause was found for failing to report or check in within 30 days as a sexual offender. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You have reporting requirements. Make sure you comply with those. Your bond is set at 1,500.
So is that $100? I don't have a bill on it.
Worst? Refused? Okay. I'll find his refusal to be a waiver. I don't know if he has an attorney.
I'm sorry, I missed it. He's
It looks like Worst has a public defender.
Okay.
refused? Okay.
All right, and, so I think he already has a lawyer. It's a failure to appear, no bond, and so we'll have to file a motion for him. All right, anything else?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
We are in recess.
The attorney's office?
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
All right, good morning, Mr. Brewer. This is Judge Wish. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Yourself?
Good, thanks. And then I have the defendant at the podium. If you could just advise if you've made contact.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Sí.
Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm the defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Selvin René Flores Chavarria.
Selvin Rene Flores Chavarria.
All right. Sir, you're here in case number 2023 CF 1191. You're arrested for battery, domestic violence, and child abuse without great bodily harm. And I do find that there's probable cause. Do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender? I don't have a form for them. Or were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
No sé.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, let me see if you qualify for the public defender. Do you work?
Sí.
Yes.
And then do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
Me pagan semanal.
I get paid weekly.
And then what do you make per week?
Gano 700, 800, a veces, dependiendo porque trabajo por hora.
Sometimes 700, sometimes 800. It all depends. I get paid hourly.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Sí.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yes.
find that you qualify for the public
Voy a
defender.
terminar con unos requisitos. My apologies, Your Honor.
Oh, you're fine. I'm gonna appoint them to represent you in your case. And you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the victims. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You must maintain a separate residence. Do you need to return back to the residence to get any personal belongings?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you need to go back to get any of your things?
Sí, tengo mis pertenencias ahí en casa.
Yes, my belongings are there at the house.
Okay, I'll allow one-time return with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. And your bond on count 1 is 500, count 2 is 1,000. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
just need them in the same order, that's all.
Good morning. Please tell me your name.
Isabela Baroni. Isabela Baroni.
Isabela Baroni.
All right, you're here in case number 2023 MM610AO. You're arrested for battery domestic violence. I do find that there is probable cause for that arrest. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. And then we have a witness. Sir, do you need the interpreter?
Yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Burr, we have a witness in the witness box, so we're gonna take the headphones off the defendant and, if you.
Certainly, Your Honor, no worries.
Sir, can you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Caballero, por favor, levante su mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Jura solemnemente o afirma que el testimonio que usted dará en este caso será la verdad, toda la verdad y solamente la verdad ante Dios.
Lo juro, diré solamente
I
la
swear, I will only tell the truth.
Okay, thank you. And then
Gracias.
tell me your name, please.
Dígame su nombre, por favor, despacio, en voz alta.
Ricardo Baroni.
Ricardo Baroni.
Mr. Baroni, how do you know Isabella Baroni?
Señor Baroni, ¿cómo conoce usted a Isabela Baroni?
Es mi hija.
She's my daughter.
And, does she live with you?
¿Vive con usted?
Sí, señor.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of her?
¿Te la teme a ella?
¿Puede repetir?
Can you repeat that?
Are you afraid of her?
¿Usted le tiene temor?
No.
No.
Do you want to have contact with her through the pending of this case?
¿Usted desea tener contacto con ella mientras que esté pendiente este caso?
Por supuesto, sí.
Of course, yes.
Are you concerned for anyone's safety that's also residing in the home?
¿Usted tiene cierta preocupación para la seguridad de cualquier otra persona que viva en el hogar con usted?
No.
No.
Has anything like this happened in the past? Any violence?
¿Algo semejante ha sucedido en el pasado o algo violento?
No.
No.
If something like this were to happen in the future, or you felt threatened, or anyone in the family felt threatened, would you call law enforcement?
Si algo semejante fuese a suceder en el futuro o si usted o algún otro familiar se sintiera amenazado, ¿usted llamaría a las autoridades?
En ese caso, sí.
In that case, I would.
Okay. All right. I'm going to allow contact. It's non-hostile, non-violent contact.
Voy a
So,
permitirle contacto sin hostilidad y sin violencia.
Ms. Baroni, you can't get mad at your dad. If he gets mad at you, you walk away. If things get heated, you walk away, okay? Go for a walk around the block, take deep breaths. Can't get in his face, can't say mean things.
Usted no se puede enojar con su padre, señorita, si hay algún tipo de discusión, usted tiene que alejarse, salga a caminar por el vecindario, respire profundo, no se puede enojar con él, no le diga cosas inapropiadas.
No biting, kicking, shoving, punching.
No puede morderlo, empujarlo, patearlo, golpearlo.
Do you understand?
¿Me entiende?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you're also not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition.
No se le va a permitir portar armas de fuego, armas blancas o municiones.
And it looks like the Department of Children and Families was contacted, so if there is an investigation, you must comply with that investigation.
Parece que se contactó el Departamento de Niños y Familias. Si es que hay una investigación, se le ordena a usted cooperar con cualquier investigación.
Megan, does he qualify?
Does not, Your Honor, due to legal status.
Okay, no, doesn't qualify?
No.
Why?
Qualify. Due to the legal status, we're not able to qualify illegal immigrants anymore.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna set the bond at $500. So there's a $500 bond, sir.
Hay una fianza programada de $500.
¿Puedo dirigirme a la corte?
May I address the court?
Sure.
Claro.
Su honor, yo quisiera poner las cosas un poco en contexto.
Your Honor, I would like to put things a little bit in context.
Nosotros tenemos, mi familia y yo, casi 4 años en este país.
My family and I have been in this country almost 4 years now.
Yo estoy pidiendo asilo.
And I am requesting asylum.
Yo en mi país ejercía como abogado.
I was an attorney in my country.
Tenía un programa de radio.
And I also had a radio program.
Y por hablar mal de mi gobierno, que es algo normal en este país, yo soy considerado como un terrorista por el gobierno venezolano.
And because I spoke ill of my government, which is something that's normal here, I was considered a terrorist by the government of Venezuela.
Eso significa, su honor, que en este país yo he tenido que hacer trabajos muy duros.
That means, Your Honor, that in this country I've had to do very difficult jobs.
Yo actualmente trabajo como dishwasher en un restaurante.
And at the current time, I'm working as a dishwasher at a restaurant.
Cuestión que no me avergüenza porque me ha permitido sacar a mi familia adelante.
But I'm not ashamed of that because it has allowed me to support my family.
Sin pedir limosna, sin pedir ayudas del gobierno, sino simplemente asumiendo mi responsabilidad como jefe de mi familia.
But I'm not ashamed because I haven't had to ask for handouts or help or any kind of charity or help from the government. I've simply done what I've had to do to take care of my family.
Y no sé si es legal o no pedirle, por favor, si me puede exonerar del pago de la fianza, si es posible, si la ley lo permite.
And I don't know if this is legal, but I was hoping that there wouldn't be a need for a bond if the law allows it.
Porque $500 para mí es prácticamente lo que yo gasto al mes en comida.
Because a $500 bond is usually what I spend every month on food.
Okay.
Entonces, pido la consideración de esta corte que tome en cuenta esto y que por favor no nos ponga restricciones.
And I ask for the judge, I ask for the court's consideration and that you please take this into account and not to impose any type of restrictions.
Okay.
Porque el amor que yo le tengo no tiene restricciones.
I understand, Mr. Brony, and I respect that request. So I would be able to, Isabella hasn't been qualified for pretrial release, but I don't know if the state has an objection to me RORing based on no history and the facts in the affidavit. If there's no objection, I would release ROR, but the statute does require a bond or some form of pretrial release, but.
No objection.
My apologies, Your Honor, if I could interpret. Señor Baroni, le respeto lo que usted me pide, pero ella no reúne requisitos para la libertad provisional. Yo no sé si la fiscalía tuviera alguna objeción de concederle libertad bajo palabra. Yo sé que ella no tiene antecedente penal y también basado en los hechos de este caso. Si la fiscalía no tiene objeción, yo pudiera concederle libertad bajo palabra, pero el estatuto creo que exige una fianza.
I'm gonna release her ROR, release on the own recognizance, so there will be no bond, sir, okay?
Caballero, entonces la voy a liberar a ella bajo palabra, no va a haber una fianza.
Just make sure that if there is a court date, that she doesn't miss court, okay?
Pero por favor asegúrese cuando le den la próxima fecha de comparecencia de que ella no deje de comparecer.
I wish you the best,
Te doy mi
Eso
palabra.
todo lo mejor.
all right?
You have my word.
Good luck. Thank you.
Suerte.
Thank you very
Gracias.
much. Su honor.
Good morning. Tell me your name.
Jason Elias Miranda Miranda. Jason Elias Miranda Miranda.
Jason Elías Miranda Miranda.
You're here in 2023 MM28AA. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with any victim. You maintain a separate residence from the victim. You may return one time with law enforcement to get any personal belongings that you need. You may not possess weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. Your bond is set at $500.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Tell me your name.
Enrique Alicea. Enrique Alicea.
Enrique Alicea.
Mr. Alicea, you're here in two cases, 2019 CF 11188AO and 2020 CF 9316AO. They're both violations of probation. In each case, the judge did set your bond at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in your cases. You'll see a judge in a week to 10 days on the violations of probation. Thank you.
Your Honor, the last one, Contreras, is mental health, but they have a victim. And the victim is
Okay. Do we want to have I need, is there a witness here for, and Mr. Interpreter, Mr. Brewer, we have the defendant is not here, but the victim's present, and I believe we need the interpreter for the witness.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Did you say mental health? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Good morning, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Buenos días, señora. Por favor, ¿me puede levantar su mano derecha para prestar juramento?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Usted jura decir la verdad, toda la verdad y solamente la verdad?
Lo juro.
I swear.
Okay. This is case number 2023 CF 1184AO. And Sinai Gab Velasquez Contreras is charged with battery, domestic violence, battery on a law enforcement officer, and resisting with violence.
La acusa a la acusada de agresión, violencia doméstica, agresión contra un agente del orden público y resistir sin violencia.
I'm going to appoint the public defender's office in the case. And then, Ms. George, do you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor, I will waive the appearance.
Vamos a designar las oficinas del defensor público y la licenciada excusa la comparecencia de la acusada.
Okay, I do find that there's probable cause for those offenses.
Determino que existen indicios razonables para esos delitos.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Señora, ¿nos pudiera dar su nombre, por favor, despacio y en voz alta?
Evelyn Velázquez.
Evelyn Velázquez.
Ms. Velasquez, how do you know Sinai Velasquez?
Señorita Velázquez, ¿cómo conoce usted a Sinai Velázquez?
Es mi hija.
She's my daughter.
And then does she live with you?
¿Vive con usted?
No.
No.
Are you afraid of her?
¿Usted le tiene temor?
No.
No.
Do you want to have contact with her through the case pending?
¿Usted desea tener contacto con ella mientras que esté pendiente este caso?
Sí.
Yes.
Have there been any instances of violence in the past?
¿Han habido incidentes de violencia en el pasado?
Aquí, un poco.
Here, a little bit.
When was the last time?
¿Cuándo fue la última vez?
Anoche.
Last night.
Well, before that.
¿Y antes de eso?
Ella se pone molesta porque no vive conmigo, pero ella no quiere seguir mis normas de mi casa y yo tengo 2 hijos más.
Well, she gets upset because she can't live with me, but she refuses to follow household rules, and I have 2 other children that live with me.
Okay. Do you want her to not come over to the house?
Entonces, ¿usted lo que desea que ella no se dirija a la casa suya?
Si es con violencia, no.
Not if she's going to be violent, no.
Okay. All right. And you're not in fear of her?
Y entonces, ¿usted no la teme a ella?
No, ella es mi hija.
No, she's my daughter.
Okay. I'm going to allow non-hostile, non-violent contact. So that means...
Voy a permitir un contacto sin hostilidad y sin violencia. Y lo que eso significa...
She can't get mad at you and raise her voice, hit you, be violent with you, any kind of aggressive, actions on her part.
Lo que eso significa, y eso es que no se le va a permitir a ella enojarse con usted, alzarle la voz, golpearla, actuar de cualquier manera violenta o agresiva hacia usted.
I'm not going to allow her to return back to your home.
No le voy a permitir a ella que regrese al hogar suyo.
She's not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition.
No se le va a permitir a ella portar armas de fuego, armas blancas o municiones.
And so she must maintain a separate residence from you.
Y ella se le exige mantener una residencia separada de la suya.
And she does not qualify for...
You didn't qualify, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yo, ¿puedo decir algo?
Can I say something?
Yes?
A mí
Sí.
me gustaría, no sé si está en las posibilidades de ustedes, pedir ayuda para mi hija, porque creo que ella necesita ayuda, o sea, yo no la puedo ayudar, no tengo quizás las palabras, los conocimientos, y creo que ella necesita ayuda en estos
Momentico, por
momentos.
favor. I would like, if it's a possibility that we get her some help, I don't know if you can find her that help. She needs it, and I don't know if I'm able to with my abilities or how I can reach her, but she definitely needs help.
Okay. I can't get her help today, but if you cooperate with the state attorney's office and they decide to charge her, then they may be able to get her some help.
Bueno, yo no le puedo conseguir ayuda a ella en el día de hoy, pero si usted coopera con la fiscalía y ellas le entablan cargos, ellos posiblemente pudieran conseguirle a ella ayuda.
If the case goes away, nobody will be able to help her other than you, providing that financially for her.
Si el caso se desestima, se elimina el caso, no la van a poder ayudar. Eso entonces caería en sus hombros y sería su responsabilidad financiera conseguirle a ella ayuda.
Okay.
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 All right. So her bond on count 1 is $500. Count 2 is $1,000 and count 3 is $100.
Las fianzas en el primer cargo, $500, en el segundo cargo, $1,000, en el tercer cargo, $100.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Muchas gracias, señora. And Your Honor, if the interpreter could respectfully request, can you confirm the case number for this last defendant, please?
Yes, it is 2023 CF 1184AO.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Can you just make an announcement, Mr. Brewer, if there's anyone in the audience that needs a Spanish interpreter to raise their hand for me?
Of course, Your Honor. Su atención, por favor, si hay alguna persona en el público que necesite los servicios del intérprete, por favor, alce la mano en este momento.
All right, I don't see any hands raised. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good morning.
You too. Okay, well, we'll see if they have, yeah. All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Well, my name is Michael Bruce McCrimmon.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Michael Bruce McCrimmon.
All right, Mr. McCrimmon, you're here in 2023 MO 146AO. You were arrested for an open container violation. And I do find that there's probable cause. I think that we reset this for a possible resolution.
Yes, Your Honor, the offer from the state is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and Mr. McCrimmon would like to accept the state's offer to enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. And then is it 2 days? 3 days? All right, Mr. McCrimmon, I'll have you raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all those rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Okay. Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I find a factual basis in the affidavit to accept your plea of no contest. I'll withhold, well, you have a withhold, but I thought it was an adjudication.
Was it?
No, it's a withhold.
Oh, it's a withhold? Okay. So withhold of adjudication and 3 days, with 3 days credit for time served, I'll impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Thank you.
What was the defendant's name?
That way. You're good.
Okay, well, we'll ask if he. Oh, I have Carthers. Next one. Tell me your name.
Wilton Calder's.
All right, Mr. Carthers, you're here in 2022 CF 7130. You were arrested for aggravated stalking pursuant to a warrant. A judge previously found probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact, directly or indirectly, with the victim in the case. Do you understand? Okay. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition. If you have any weapons or firearms or any ammunition, you must surrender those within 6 hours of your release to your local law enforcement agency. You must maintain a separate residence. You may not go to the victim's residence, okay? Do you understand? Okay. Your bond is set at $7,500. It appears as though you also have a hold for Lake County for aggravated stalking on a warrant. So if you do bond out here, Lake County will come and pick you up. I don't know if you have a bond. I don't believe you have a bond in that.
No bond on that.
Okay? Okay. Good luck.
So my bond is $7,500.
You have $7,500 bond here. You don't have the one for Lake County. So if you bond out here, they'll come pick you up, okay? I don't know if he's spoken with his attorney or if his attorney is coming. We haven't heard that his attorney is coming. Do we know who it is?
Yeah, it's on the paper,
Oh, Mr. Root, okay. Well, I guess we'll wait till the end of the session and see if he shows. I don't know, is there any way anyone can send an email to Mr. Ruth to see if he's coming?
Which case are we talking about?
Mr. Hobbs,
Okay.
if not, don't worry about it, we'll just wait, but, yeah. Good morning, tell me your name.
Warren Jefferson.
All right, Mr. Jefferson, you're here in case number 2023 CF 1192. You were arrested for possession of ammunition by a convicted felon and stalking domestic violence. I do find that there's probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with any victim or witness in the case. I'll have you sign that no contact order. Make sure you understand it. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. If you have any weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, you must surrender them to local law enforcement within 6 hours of any release from the jail. Your bond on count 1 is stayed at 5,000. Count 2 is 2,500. You're out on release in 2022 CF 13624AO. I am setting or revoking and setting the bond at none in that case, and I believe you have a lawyer. Good morning. Tell me your name.
Kenneth Myers.
Mr. Myers, you're here in case number 2023 CF 1193. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a firearm, domestic violence, battery, domestic violence, cultivation of cannabis, and possession of cannabis.
In your honor.
I have a PC issue with count 1. And possession of cannabis more than 20 grams. I find probable cause for aggravated assault, not aggravated battery. There appears to be no contact. And I think that's 784. I don't know if the state has an argument, but
I do not, Your Honor. I think it may be .011 assault.
let's see.
Nope, not aggravated.
Did you find, did you say this at 7?
I'm
looking, but-
.021, Your Honor.
784.
.021.
021.
The guns.
I have, 784.0211A dash 15. I don't know if that's what you need to put in there. It's aggravated assault with a firearm as opposed to aggravated battery. All right, I do find probable cause for the other offenses as charged. Mr. Myers, no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. Make sure you understand everything on the no contact order. You must maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement to get any personal belongings. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bond on count 1 is 2,500, count 2 is 500, count 3 is 150, count 4 is 150.
Ma'am.
Why don't you ask Ms. George if you have a question? I don't want you to say anything on the record that might complicate your case.
We reduce that one at all?
Good morning, tell me your name.
Ma'am,
Tell me your name.
Murray Carter.
All right, Mr. Carter, you're here in 2023 MM 606AO. You were arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down.
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Okay, tell me your name.
Louise Ayadale.
All right, and then how do you know Mr. Carter?
We've been together for 18 years.
Okay, you live together?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Do you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Has there been any instances of violence between you guys in the past?
No.
This is the first time?
Yes, he's a good man and he got a
Okay,
job.
all right. If something like this were to happen again and you felt threatened or there was violence, would you call law enforcement?
Yes, but he like he did yesterday. He walked. He rode away. He left and then he came back. He left.
Okay, well, I just need to make sure that you're comfortable calling law enforcement if something happens again.
Okay. Yes.
Is that right? You're gonna do that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so Mr. Carter, I'm gonna let you have contact. It's non-hostile, non-violent contact, okay? No pushing, shoving, hitting, biting, scratching, getting in her face, saying mean things to her, raising her voice. Walk away, go for a walk around the block, okay? Yes? Okay. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I think there's some alcohol, maybe an issue here.
Yes, he was just drinking a little bit.
So no alcohol, okay? All right, and then I'm gonna set your bond at $500. Right, thank you, ma'am.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I called his brother last night. His brother told me when he come to court, he gonna bond him out.
Okay.
His brother gonna get him. Okay.
Good luck, ma'am. Tell me your name. All right, Mr. Clifford, you're here in 2023 MM 600AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. Do find that there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with any victim. Maintain a separate residence. You need to go back to get any personal belongings? No? Nothing at the home? No? Okay. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. I'm also ordering no contact with the witness in the case. Well, that's your mom, so never mind. Okay. So he can have contact with his mom. All right. And then you do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to release you on pretrial release. Make sure you understand everything in the no contact order. If you violate that, you could be held at no bond, okay? Yeah, sure. Good morning. Tell me your name.
Salvador Garcia Martinez.
All right, Mr. Garcia Martinez, you're here in 2023 MM 588AO. You are arrested for battery domestic violence. They do find that there is probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Were you going to hire your own lawyer?
I don't think I can afford my own lawyer, but I don't think I qualify for a public defender either.
You don't think you'll?
Because of the amount of money that I make. I
Okay,
mean,
well, let me see what do you work?
yes,
Okay, and then do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. What do you make bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly about $1,600 a month. I mean a week. Bi-weekly.
What is it?
1,600.
1,600?
Yeah.
Okay, and then do you have any dependents,
No.
kids, or
No.
anyone you claim on your taxes?
No.
I don't think, no. You're not gonna qualify.
I know.
I know. I just want to make sure. Okay. All right. So, well, if you'll have to hire a lawyer if you want one. And so I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. Maintain a separate residence, and do you need to go back there to get anything?
Yes.
Okay, I'll allow one-time return with law enforcement. Make sure you're with law enforcement, okay? No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Your bond is set at $500. Good luck. All right, Good morning. Tell me your name.
Brian Huntley.
Mr. Huntley, you're here in 2023 MM 607AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. Do find that there is probable cause for that offense. I'll appoint the public defender. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you just raise your right hand for me? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I just need you, it's hard to hear you because you're a little far away from the microphone. I know you got a baby there, so just be careful. But just if you could talk into the microphone for me. Can you
Yes,
tell me
ma'am.
your name?
Nyanka Camille.
Okay. And then Miss Camille, how do you know Mr. Huntley?
He is the father of this child.
Okay. Are you in a relationship?
Yes,
Okay. Do you live together?
yes.
Are you afraid of him or?
I'm not. Honestly, if I could just say so on behalf, I think things just got like a little rough because it's been 2 years now. He finally picked up a job and all that stuff. He's finally doing better and turning things around. Like as women, sometimes we provoke things, not saying things are right or wrong, but like, in some ways, I have my part. He has his part. I don't know. I see him doing really good. It's been a while since anything. So if you could have just a little bit of leniency, like he's just getting a job, he's trying to help.
There's other kids in the household, right?
Yeah, I have my 5-year-old son,
Yeah. And they witnessed what happened?
unfortunately.
Have there been prior instances of violence?
Yes, ma'am, but not in like that household. It's probably like it's been before he was born. My son was my first son was not there in appearance. It's just I don't know. It's a new year. I wish it could be a different start. Just a newborn baby,
Yeah, I just have some concerns here. You got a baby and another kid, and they're witnessing what's going on.
It's just very unfortunate, but the baby knows nothing. The baby was sleeping. My son, he was watching TV in the living room. When I went to running, he's like, okay, I see mommy running. So now, but honestly, I took his phone, which is why I was running, because just for stupid reasons. Like I say, it's an antagonizing type of situation.
Yeah.
But it was not. It was never meant to be like that. And my son, my first son, he didn't see anything in the previous. He didn't hear anything in the previous. I just grabbed the phone and I ran. Then I ended up tripping.
Well, I'm just not comfortable allowing contact today, Miss Camille, okay? So his attorney can file a motion, all right? And maybe you just need a little bit of a break. It doesn't mean that can't change, but maybe you just need a little bit of a timeout, okay? So I'm gonna order no contact today. Like I said, your attorneys can file a motion and have a hearing in front of Judge McGinnis in Division 50. And he can decide whether or not that will change. But for now, no contact, maintain a separate residence. I'll let you go back one time with law enforcement to get any personal belongings. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, and it looks like DCF was contacted, so if there's an investigation, you'll have to comply with that investigation. You do qualify for pretrial release, so I'm gonna release you on pretrial, okay? Just make sure if you go back there, you're with law enforcement, okay? All right, good luck. I wish you the best.
Do you know who will be appointed as his attorney?
I don't, but somebody at the public defender's office, and they're gonna give him that information, so he'll have that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can call them and find out,
Okay.
okay?
Thank you for listening.
All right, good luck.
Willie McClendon is in the hospital, Your Honor.
Do we have any witnesses here for McClendon? Okay,
I will waive.
okay. I'll appoint the public defender for Willie McClendon, and they're waiving his appearance, 2023 MM59W. It's a battery domestic violence. There is probable cause, no contact with the victim. directly or indirectly maintain a separate residence. Don't know if they live together. Yep, okay. And no one-time return with law enforcement, no weapons or firearms, or any ammunition. The bond is $500. Tell me your name, please. All right, Mr. Polanco, you're here in 2023 MM 613. You were arrested for assault, domestic violence. I do find that there is probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. Good morning. Can you raise your hand for me, your right hand? You swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. I just need you to get a little closer to the microphone so I can hear. You can pull it down if you need to. I'm short too. Okay. All right. Tell me your name.
Tiffany Borges.
Okay. And then Ms. Borges, how do you know Mr. Polanco?
He's the father of my child.
Okay. Do you live together?
Yes.
Are you in fear of him?
No.
Okay. Do you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Have there been any other instances of violence between you in the past?
No.
If something like this were to happen again and you felt threatened, would you call law enforcement?
Yes.
Anybody else have anything?
No questions from defense, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state.
Okay, all right, so, Mr. Polanco, I'm gonna let you have contact. It's non-hostile, non-violent contact, okay? So, no pushing, shoving, no charging at her or threatening her in any way, shape, or form,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? None of it. If you get upset, you get angry, you walk away.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition, and I'm gonna release you on pretrial release, okay?
All right.
All right. Good luck. Thank you. Okay, and then we have his. Good morning, Mr. Ruth.
Great to see you, Judge.
Good to see you too. How are you doing?
Been great.
Okay, all right. Tell me your name. Okay, Mr. Hobbs, you're here in 2023 CF 1168AO. You were arrested for false imprisonment and battery domestic violence. I do find that there is probable cause, and I'll, not gonna appoint the public defender. I think, Mr. Ruth, I don't know if you have yet, but you'll be filing a notice of
Yes.
appearance? Okay. All right, and then, good morning, ma'am. Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you're soft-spoken, so I just need you to.
Yes, ma'am.
speak up. Okay, good morning. Tell me your name.
Kristen Hobbs.
All right, Ms. Hobbs, how do you know Mr. Hobbs?
Jeffrey is the father of my 2 children, and he's also my husband.
And you guys live together?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of him?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have there been other instances of violence?
Yes, ma'am, but it has been a while, and if I may speak, my husband has been going to church. We have been trying everything. We've gone to parenting classes through our church. We are trying to be on a better path. My husband currently is on antidepressants, and he has been recently prescribed them. They are not fully kicked in. I know it takes 6 weeks for them to fully metabolize in his system. I don't believe he's on the right dosage because my husband has, like I said, been on a very good path with our house, with our children. And I think it was just because he did not take his medicine that morning that we've had this blowout. We've been really on a good page. And the problem is we have a lot of shortcomings with money right now, which was in my statement from the night before, and it led into the petty nonsense that led up to this incident. And that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, he's not a bad guy, Your Honor. He's a very good father. He's a very good person. And Your Honor, I went to the police just so I could make sure that, because he's never done this before, and I wanted it to just be on record. I did not want to, I know this is not the chance to press charges. I don't want that. I know I'm not supposed to say that. But Your Honor, I truly, genuinely mean he is an outstanding man, and he made a bad choice, but he is not a bad man. and my children miss him so dearly.
So nobody's saying that he's a bad person, okay? This is,
I
sometimes
understand.
these
I
are,
just wanted you to know, like, yes, he made a very bad choice, and I did say something about it, but I'm not perfect either. I know I'm not perfect, but I do love my husband, and I'm not afraid of him.
if something like this were to happen again, would you call law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I would.
Ms. Eugene, do you have any questions?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Ruth?
No, Judge.
Okay, so this is my problem, Ms. Hobbs, is that I have to go by what's in the affidavit too, other than what you're telling me, and I'm not saying that your husband's a bad man, okay, by any stretch of anything. And I know that there's some mental health issues going on, and you guys are working on those things. But some of the things that are in the affidavit by law enforcement really are concerning to me, and for your safety, I'm not comfortable allowing the contact today. That doesn't mean that that can't get changed, and he has an attorney, and Mr. Ruth can file any motions that need to get filed, okay? But I think maybe a little break may be good for just a bit, and I'm gonna require that he take his medications as prescribed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Ruth, I'm gonna order no contact today, directly or indirectly, with the victim and the witnesses.
Judge, there are young children. I
Is there a
apologize.
third party that like like one of their parents that?
There is,
a
Judge.
relative?
His father lives over in Brevard County. I spoke to him last night. He's certainly willing to assist. But I was thinking that if the court we could suggest possibly the ability to use a parenting app, if that's something that we could consider. So it's all documented, just for child care of taking them to school, pickup, that kind of things. It might be easier to at least navigate that way.
And is it the talking, I forget the name of the app.
We're talking about the same one, but I don't know what the name
Yeah.
of it is, Judge.
I think it's the talking, I know what it is, but I don't know the name of it.
Right.
Um,
I think if we put in the order that they're able to communicate through the parenting app, I think that's pretty clear of what we're suggesting, and then I
So
could locate the exact app for them to
yeah,
download.
so, I mean, I don't have a problem if Ms. Hobbs isn't with the dad having any communication as it relates to the children, okay? What is his name?
His
can
name is
put it in the-
Jeffrey as well.
Jeffrey Hobbs Senior?
Yes, with a,
No, it's
yes.
Jeff with a J, it's spelled differently.
Okay, Jeffrey with a J.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's your dad. Okay, and, yes.
May I please speak, Your Honor?
I see one that's called Talking Parents, is that?
That's it.
Okay.
May I please speak, Your Honor? One of the big catalysts in our marriage is his father and mother interfering. And I feel like this is just a further attempt to divide our families from our children. I feel like, Your Honor, I came here today to pour out my heart and let you know how I truly feel about this situation. If I felt like I was in danger, if I felt like he was going to threaten or hurt me, or if this was going to be something, I would have not have came today. But now knowing that his father is trying to make
Okay,
us
well,
use
I
talking
won't
apps,
involve dad then, okay?
I don't appreciate that. I didn't.
I saw you nodding your head, so I thought that that was okay, so that's why
I don't want to go there. I trust my husband full-heartedly. I do not want to
Ms.
have.
Hobbs, hold on, okay? So I'm not gonna involve dad, okay? But I'll allow them to communicate about the children only through the Talking Parenting app. If there's any other communication other than the children, then that's a violation of his release. Okay? So if there's arguing or anything unrelated to the children, even if there's arguing about the children, it should just be basic stuff. School, health care, whatever it might be, until any no contact order is changed. But they have to maintain a separate residence. I'll give him one-time return with law enforcement to get his things. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And you must take all your medication as prescribed. Okay, Mr. Hobbs? Do you understand all of that? Okay. Mr. Ruth will help you set up the app, okay, and how that will work. But that's the only caveat that you can communicate about the children, okay, through the app. No, nothing else. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then I will release him to pretrial release.
Judge, he probably were residing outside of the county. Can they do pretrial release outside the county?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Or can we do a straight bond rather than pretrial release, Judge?
I kind of want him on pretrial release.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, he's going to probably be living with his father in Brevard County. I don't know
That's
whether
fine, I
there's a.
think it's like once a month. It's,
Yeah, he'll just have to come to the office like once a month.
Okay.
so
fine that he's in
Brevard's
Brevard.
not that far and,
Understand.
okay.
Your,
Um,
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was gonna ask, how will that work if he's in Brevard with the child? My children live here in Orange County. They go to school in Seminole. He can't be taking them from Brevard to come back and take my kids and.
He can't have contact with the children until the no contact order is changed.
Your Honor, when is the, do you,
That's something his attorney will have to file a motion about, or you can contact the state attorney's office, okay? But the no contact order is no contact with the children. That's why I'm allowing you to communicate about the children through the app. But there is no contact with the children or you, other than through the app regarding the children's school, medical needs, etc. That is it.
can I ask a question, Your Honor? I've never been through this before. I've never been to a pretrial. I've never had this.
So there's a victim advocate at the state attorney's office, okay? That's, Miss Eugene is the prosecutor, okay, for the state attorney's office here. I don't know if she can give you the phone number, but there's a victim advocate that you can talk to, and they can walk you through the process, or the prosecutor that's assigned to the case, okay? All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Tell me your name.
Henry Brown.
Mr. Brown, you're here on an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County for a violation of probation. The judge did set your bond at none. Osceola will have 24 hours, not including any weekends or holidays, to come and pick you up. If they don't, you'll come back before a judge, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, tell me your name.
Just 30 minutes.
Okay, do we know what happened to Zedra Jenkins? All right, Mr. Jimenez, you're here on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. It's for a violation of probation. The judge there did set your bond at none. They'll have 24 hours, not including any weekends or holidays, to come and get you. If they don't, you'll come back before the court, okay?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
They'll have 24 hours to come and pick you up. And if they don't, that doesn't include weekends and holidays. So you'll come back before a judge if they don't pick you up timely.
Okay.
But they will, because it's Seminole.
The case was closed.
I can't do anything about Seminole because I'm not a Seminole judge. I don't have jurisdiction over Seminole. Your best bet is to contact a lawyer, okay?
So that I don't have any bail or anything I can set.
I can't change the bond out of Seminole.
So I do have a bond out of Seminole though?
No, you have no bond. That's why they're gonna come pick you up. They're gonna bring you to a judge in Seminole. Or you can contact a lawyer and they can file a motion in Seminole before all of that happens, and maybe you'll get a bond, I don't know. I don't have any jurisdiction. They bring you before me because I have to tell you what's gonna happen. Sorry. Tell me your name.
Christopher Phillips.
Mr. Phillips, you're here on a Lake County warrant. The judge did set your bond at none. And I think Lake has 72 hours to come and pick you up, not including weekends and holidays. Yeah, no, 24 hours in Lake. And so they'll bring you back before a judge if they don't pick you up timely, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your, who? I don't have that. That's probably why. Thank you. Is this Arnaz Barrington?
Ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Barrington, you're here for an Orange County violation of drug probation. And the judge in orange here did set your bond at none. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You'll see Judge Lattimore in a week to 10 days on the violation, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Elijah Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2018 CF 15474AO. It's a violation of probation. The judge did set your bond at none. I'll appoint the public defender. You'll see Judge Lattimore in a week to 10 days on the violation of probation, and we'll just put in the court minutes that he does have reporting requirements. I don't know if I have to address the hold.
No.
Okay, all right.
Yes, ma'am. God bless you.
Tell me your name.
Eddie Maldonado, ma'am.
Mr. Maldonado, you're here on a violation of probation in 2011 CF 16107AO, and the judge did set your bond at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You'll see Judge Lattimore in a week to 10 days on the VOP, okay? Okay, I'll find his refusal to be a waiver, appoint the public defender. It's a violation of probation on view for new law arrest. I do find that there's probable cause. The bond will remain at none. Tell me your name.
Todd Curtis Stewart, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Stewart, you're here in 2017 CF 10769AO. It's a violation of probation on view for new law arrest. There is probable cause. The bonds will stay at none at this time, and I'll appoint the public defender. You'll see a judge in a week to 10 days on it, okay?
Thank you.
Tell me your name. All right, Mr. Brown, you're here on a violation of probation in 2022 MM 8257AO. Your bond is set at none at this time. I'll appoint the public defender. Do you want to enter a denial and we'll get him on the docket?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's my division. So it's a VOP. All right. and
Madam Clerk, can you tell me the division?
It's fine, 82.
Thank you.
And then we'll do the 33 days. I'm just signing some of these. Okay, y'all ready on the 33 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 2022 CF 14885AO, Antoine Ladson.
Your Honor, what date is listed on the order?
129. The 33rd day is, it says, is 129.
That's fine then, Your Honor. That is the 33rd day. Some judges will sign it now in anticipation, and some judges will say wait.
Well, you get until the 33rd day, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not gonna take any action on it. And then the 33rd day is what?
That's why we put the
Sunday.
dates on there. It says granted to be released on that date if.
If not filed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So it's totally at your discretion, Your Honor,
Yeah,
as long as the date is correct.
Yeah, is that the date that you have too?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously is corrections checking that?
I'm sorry?
Does corrections check to make sure that an information, like if one gets filed today at 5?
That is what is supposed to happen, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
that would be court team. I'm guessing that they do. That's not something I do.
Okay, I mean, have there been problems in the past? Is that why? I don't want to cause a problem.
It's generally, the experience that I have had is that it's not been that great for defendants because we have filed notices of non-filing, but it hasn't been caught in time. And so sometimes they sit here longer than is necessary.
Okay,
But
well, I guess that's up to their lawyer. I don't know what you guys want to do.
Your Honor, that's why we changed the order to put the dates in.
Yeah,
there.
because I'm not used to that language.
Yes, Your Honor.
When I was here, so that is new.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I'm happy to sign it because of the way that it's written. It's just whether or not corrections is interpreting it a certain way.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And it's up to the attorney to check to make sure he's released.
And so nothing's been filed?
no, not as,
Okay,
not as
so
this.
I'll check granted, and then obviously, if something's not filed, then they'll get released by January 29th. All right, 2022 MM 538AA, Ariel Nichols.
Granted, case was no build.
2022 CF 14869AO, Denelson Pierre Lewis.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
All right, 2022 CF 14876AO, Luis Enrique Pietrel Laboy.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
All right, is that all we had for that?
Yes.
Okay, because sometimes I'm missing stuff. Making sure. All right, we'll be in recess.